Hello. I don't know why there's no sound, sorry. There's just no sound at all. There we go. Not even any music. Also, I love this song because I 100% know that it's from the same package that we had from like last year. Especially for EMEA, because we had some really corny music last year when it was Freaks for You. So I'm really happy to be hearing this kind of stuff. Right, live, everything good here? There's got to be a way to not have a thumbnail. Thank God. There we go.
各位观众下午好，欢迎收看五位区 CN 联赛晋升赛的比赛，我是一彤，我是 OC。那欢迎来到今天的一个比赛，今天会进行败者组的一个半决赛以及胜者组的决赛。而且今天打完之后呢，从明天开始是2场标舞。
Right, whilst we have the casters talking to us about what's been happening the last couple of days, let's actually look at what's been happening over like Ascension, because we've not streamed any of this event until today. So I wanted to catch up on some bits and pieces, whether you've been watching other watch parties on... I don't think anybody else has actually watch partied it up until yesterday. Nobody did the group stages because I think everybody was scared of getting deleted by China, because I don't think people technically have permissions. But it should be okay. So we have the 8 teams: Rare Atom, Tekken Soul, DRG, NIP, 17, Nightwings, Hungry Men, Keep Best. First group, I mean, there was only one map that was pulled back for Keep Best, which was Lotus, I think, in this one. I was up for this game. It started at 4 AM and I woke up at 4 AM that day, just randomly. Keep Best were on top, and then there was a bit of a fake comeback from NIP, but eventually they lost. Ascent, this was the first time that we saw the double Sentinel Deadlock from Erin and NIP. And then Bind, actually a really good map. Definitely a good comeback, because it was, what, like 9-5 up? And Keep Best managed to lose. Like, actually a good game to go back and rewatch if people want to see some games that maybe of players that you don't know much about, that you don't like, different comps, different ideas. I think that's a really good series to be checking out at the very least. Rare Atom have just been dumpstering people so far, kind of expected. Attacking Soul, they're playing without HFMI in playoffs. He had a family emergency. So the weird thing is that HFMI is gone and Monk has come in. Now, Monk is somebody that I tweeted about because we saw the player lineups for Attacking Soul and it had 0 back in the team. For those that don't know, Monk was the IGL of this squad, and then he left Stage 2, 0 came in, and then for Stage 3 of the Evolution series, which was in like October, November, December, which led into Ascension, Monk came back and 0 was on the bench. So these are like the 2 IGLs that have been swapping places, a la Mixwell and Kellogg's style thing. So now they're both playing together, because I thought the Monk was picked up by one of the 10 partnership teams that are now in the China League. So the fact that Monk is still on this team is really odd, to say the very least. They're playing later on against Rare Atom, who I don't think have dropped a map at all this tournament so far. They've been pretty much blasting through people at this rate. Yeah, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. What is the close? 13-11, another 13-11, the 13-10. So on some of these maps, they've been basically pushed a little bit more than you'd probably expect or hope for. Not quite sure what this is meant to be, but yeah, I think it's Rare Atom are looking like favorites for this tournament, especially with HFMI being out for Attacking Soul. Like, it was fine yesterday for Attacking Soul when they had to play with Life and, with Monk and Zero. But I imagine against Rare Atom in both the upper bracket and potentially the grand final, it's not good to necessarily compare. But you never know. Attacking Soul actually banned Ascent as well against Nip. So yeah, it should be a really good series, I think, overall. Do I tweet that on live? Well, it's going to complain at me for trying to tweet. Yeah, it should be okay. I did want to check stats as well. Like, who in this tournament is actually doing well? Spring's been really impressive for Nip. HFMI's been impressive, but not here at the moment. I don't know whether they've said that he's likely to come back for the finals or anything like that. I think he's just out for the rest of the tournament. Xeno for DRG is a really interesting one, considering that Xeno is a newish player. I think VCT... do I have the sheets? I don't want to show sheets. How do I do this? Because DRG brought in Xeno and Dingwei. Who did they lose? They lost Shion and they lost Maizy. Shion I don't know about. I think Shion is a player that you definitely could have just replaced at this rate. Maizy I think has been picked up. I think that they've probably gone to like a JDG. But JDG's movement, like, from the rumors, has been really interesting because the big assumption is that JDG would just pick up a squad, like a full 5 players and the coach, and just run with them. Like, say, for example, Rare Atom actually win this tournament, make Ascension. What would have been a great assumption was JDG would have picked up Attacking Soul. Just verbatim. Because the biggest rumor for the longest time was that JDG would pick up Trace if Trace didn't make Ascension, because the assumption was that Trace Esports wouldn't make partnership because they're not an LPL org. They're not necessarily even that big in comparison to other orgs around them. But in the end, they ended up actually getting that spot. So, hey, Sido. It was really surprising, I suppose. We love China. I mean, I'm glad to be back watching it. It's a shame that like the tournament's quite short. And also, it was quite literally on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. But I've been enjoying watching it. I actually watched more of it than I thought I would without me streaming it, especially when some of the games started at 4 a.m. Yeah, I guess that's surprising. YouTube was also on this team beforehand, right? Let me find a sheet, actually, so I can show people what I've been cooking up. So I've started doing this, and I've tried to do this for Pacific as well. Just to be like, okay, these are the players that are in and out. It's effectively replicated Flynn's sheet, but me putting in the data myself, I think helps me sort of remember it a bit more. So, gotta root for our hero. Yeah, Stu. I mean, the best part is, I haven't had the chance to tell people this, because I've not been streaming since Evolution. Me and Stu now like talk quite a lot. It's kind of weird because I ask him stuff, but then he was also asking me like, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" And I'm like, "Not really." I can't remember what we were talking about, but oh yeah, I think I was just saying like, okay, like, do you know what happened to these players? Do you know what team they went to? And they're like, we don't know because there's a lot of teams just not scrimming at the moment naturally, at least not scrimming against us. Which is weird, because I think if you're a China team and you're running trials right now, well, maybe you can't for one, because it's the roster lock. But surely you can run trials just on the down low. And so, yeah, I was asking Stu, like, some of the teams that made moves, like what ones do you think are better? Like, because he was saying that 4 AM with the roster moves they made because they lost Paul Tato and somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head. They lost Juan because they got Winslia, who's on LGD, but they were saying like Soy Jin is really good. Obviously, Eraser used to be the coach for Global last year, or well, this year. Like 4AM actually looked like a really, really good team. So, like he was just telling me stuff like that. Are we going in? Here we are. God, that's loud. Music's interesting pick, but yeah, so this is what I've been working on, like just seeing where, like, okay, some of these teams have left. Have they gone to other squads? Like only is a really good pickup, so I can imagine that only is gone somewhere, but you never know. Yeah, Maizy and Shion were the ones to leave DRG, but Dingwei's looked pretty good, and Zeno was on KBG, but I think that was quite a while ago. But yeah, Stu was asking me, like, who do you think is going to win this tournament? And I was like, well, you guys, obviously. And he was like, yeah, correct answer. But I was saying, like, I liked attacking Soul with Monk, so the fact that they're playing with Zero was really concerning to me. Like, I think Monk is just... I wouldn't say... Like, it's hard to say if Monk's a better IGL or if he's just a better player, because we really haven't seen that much of either of them. Just different stages. But I think with how aggressive attacking Soul are as a team, I think Monk suits them more, because Monk is quite aggressive too. It's like Angel for Na'Vi and FPX. He's more aggressive-minded, so it works with that kind of team. But if you put Boaster with, like, the Na'Vi team, it's not going to work. It's a little bit more, like, reserved. Yeah, Monk is a lot more entertaining to watch. But I don't know if that is better. Alright, so they're banning Lotus. That's been pretty much their permaban each time. DRG, I wonder if they're going to ban Ascent at this rate, or whether they have a plan to deal with the Deadlock. I mean, they've been banning out Sunset. Like, I'm not on top of the picks and bans yet so far, so we do get to see the double Sentinel, more of the Deadlock, which is really good. Like, I fucking hate Deadlock with a passion, but I do love what Nip are doing with her. And I also do think that, like, for Ascent, I think you can get away with changing the KO to stuff. Like, I think the comp on Ascent without the KO plus Sage is pretty strong. Anyway, like, that's always been a pretty, like, solid option if it wasn't for the fact that the Silver KO was super meta and has been for like 3 years. But I do think that Sage is a good option, but Deadlock can do that role and a little bit more. So I think it does make a lot of sense. Also, I think one thing that would help Deadlock quite a lot, if for whatever reason Fracture comes back into the map pool, I think Deadlock would be insanely strong on Fracture. Yeah, Aaron on the Deadlock. Also, Merry Christmas for everybody. I've got a lot of, like, my girlfriend works with, like, SEN kids, like special education needs, and what it has basically come to is the kids that she'll work with will have, like, a lot of stim toys because they're, like, autistic or they have ADHD or just any other sort of, like, special education needs, literally. So they'll have a lot of stim toys like this one, and Beth will be like, what the fuck, I want one of those. And so she'll get one, and then I'll see that she's got something like this and be like, what the fuck, I want one of those. And it ended up to a point where Beth like bought 4 of these, like, Rubik's Cube things for various members of her family, including me, which is, like, hilarious. I also have this little one that's just like a little magnet, like, switchy thing, which is so good for watching VODs. Like, it's just so nice to just flick it between this. Alright, so we see the door. The nade is incredibly strong, especially that range, because I think it actually does catch on to 2. Yeah, Aaron gets the kill. Yeah, because Vukashi wasn't tagged by anything. He just went into his camera and then pinged them, I think. But this is a good wraparound that they haven't necessarily caught. Observing's a little bit all over the place, but it's fine. A good retake, especially from Dingwei, to actually get onto Speedway and just flank all the way around. Yeah, the Ascent was really, like, it's so good to see ideas like that, especially from China. You sort of expect it, but to see Deadlock being picked and actually have good use is a really nice, like, change of pace, I suppose. Shugdads are really nice to just break the trips, but also just push them back and fight them. Actually, a force up here from Nip too. Risky, I think, from DRG to be doing this. Like, if they got the plan that it was like a 1v1, 1v2 maybe, but there were still 3 players alive from Nip before, sorry, from DRG before, so actually forcing up didn't make that much sense. Unless they've, like, managed to work the money enough that they have a full buy coming in. They did good damage, but now they're on a full eco, yeah. Like, I like the gamble. I think teams need to force up a bit more, but not in that instance, I don't think. If you can bring it down to just 2 players alive from DRG, that would be better. 3 alive, not worth. I think the team is exactly the same for Nip as well. Like, they've not made any roster moves for the team at all. Which I guess is that they're holding on to spring more than anything. I think Aaron's actually done a lot this event to catch people's attention. Like, very flexible player, similar to what's his name from Tech. But I mean, Tech, like, he'll be playing on Tech next year, no doubt. Lukashi's just going for it. I mean, he just headshots him anyway. What, Siufat? Siufat used to play controller, so him and Jay have, like, swapped roles too. Good morning, Nell. Merry Christmas. Good Jewel. I don't think it is good Jewel for you, is it? Wait, does Germany have Christmas on 25th or 24th? Because pretty much everybody that I know from Europe did it on the 24th. Like, the players, we have Spanish and, like, French players, they just seem to celebrate on the 24th. Yeah, Godjul's not just a Swedish thing, is it? It's like a Nordic thing. Just like Denmark and stuff too. Happy belated birthday, thank you. Yeah, it's the first... This sounds really depressing, but it's not really. It's the first birthday I had where I didn't actually have any, like, presents to open. Just because it's so close to Christmas, I just do it Christmas, I don't care. We did some, like, last-minute Christmas shopping on my birthday and then went to Toby Cavalry. Which, I like Toby Cavalry, but the one that we went to... It was more, I think, because it's the 20th. There was a lot of, like, Christmas dinners there, so... The food was nice, but the experience of, like, getting Cavalry was a little bit off. This trip's gonna connect or not? Vukashi's waiting. Oh, he gets cocooned. I mean, that does mean that his, like, utility stays up a little bit more. Spring is just a light. It's so awkward though. There's just too many players facing. Yeah, I know that you say it in Sweden, man. I didn't know if it was because I think it was Duba that said it. But like we have Danish friends as well, who I can't remember if they said it or not. And Dutch. It depends on the family if you celebrate on the evening of 24th or 25th in Germany. Interesting. I guess it kind of like depends on your roots, and also I think more than anything probably depends on your religion, because I think Protestants celebrate on the 25th, but I think Catholic Christianity celebrates on the 24th. Like evening of the 24th for like midnight mass and stuff too. I think that's probably why it varies from household to household. So I thought it could be like if you had like roots from the north of Europe. I think what's more likely is what family, what religion your family mostly comes from. Because I didn't know, because I think Annie, who's Spanish, was celebrating on the 24th. And it's like, wait, do Spanish people celebrate on the 24th? It's like, they do if they're Catholic. Which I imagine the majority of Spanish people are, so Spain kind of celebrates on the 24th. Right, this has been an absolute disaster from Nip so far. I don't know if DRG have been playing this, I can't remember off the top of my head, if DRG have been playing the Cypher verbatim, or whether they've been like, okay, Nip are playing with a Deadlock, they're not playing with a KO, that means that we could probably get so much done if we play Cypher. In which case, that's a nice adjustment, but I think they have been playing it. I'll check on my phone, because I don't want to check on here. I need to use my iPad more, but Beth currently has it. DRG stats. Nick's very close against what was potentially an eco, but Vukashu's hat is spinning, and he is just an immovable object right now. They played Cypher against 4 Hungry Men. So yeah, they moved over to the Cypher for Ascension. What happened with Crystal? He was on Nightwings, but they didn't make it. So he's LFT. Yeah, I mean, it's as Michael McIntyre would say, this is the weirdest time of the year because nobody knows what fucking day it is. So falling asleep and eating copious amount of foods is perfectly fine for the rest of this week. It's the 28th. Yeah, and it's a Thursday. I genuinely was like, went to bed last night. Like, oh shit, it's Thursday tomorrow. Like, are we doing D&D still? Record that pings Luke. I stood up at 6 AM today to buy fireworks. How hard is it to buy fireworks in Germany? There's something about you saying fireworks and being German. It feels like I'm setting up a really bad joke there, but I can't remember. I think I was having this conversation with Zesh at some point about buying fireworks in Germany, whether it was super easy or super hard. I can't remember. Yeah. I mean, this is just full control. Like, if you want to see a firm example of how to defend on Ascent, this has been it. Vukashu especially has just been god tier. Actual nade has a lot of impact there too. So 3v3, plant's about to go down. Any ultimates online? Not quite yet on either side. Spring's facing forward. No utility from Eren. traps on either side. So, like DRG, did the knife catch? It should have done, but it didn't. The traps are actually too good when they're like put down like that. That's the only. I think that's one of the bits of kit that does need adjusting from Deadlock. Is just making those traps. I think the traps are really good, and I think there's a really good concept of an ability there. But I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. For actually doing a Sentinel's job, the traps don't work. But for moments like that, where you actually get planted down and you can put the traps in, it's so good. It's so strong. But it's not great if you're doing that as like set utility around the map. Really? Oh man. Maybe the conversation was just about how seriously Germans take their like fireworks. Only on the 28th to the 30th. Oh, yeah, that must have been it. I remember having this conversation though. But when it's like a conversation about Germany with Zesht, it's always a show, you know? You might have heard a fucking Skydog noise there. If you did, I'm sorry. It's because I opened up an old, well, not an old video. I had a video tabbed yesterday. I just opened for the first time now. Right. So yeah, more Deadlock. Deadlock has a lineup for using the wall on A. They're still lurking up tree. Bit of an awkward fight at this point. Xeno is on their own, has their position given up. Was that the first or second ping? I think it was just a second. But they chased him down. These B executions now started to work. You've got a very late lurk from Aaron that's just worked out massively. And alright, it's taken a while. It's taken a timeout, but now Nipper starting to get things working. Also, hello everybody over on YouTube. They don't activate fast enough? You mean the traps? I just don't think it's a good concept in like map control with the traps for Deadlock. I don't know how to. I've said this before. I think that changing the ability to work the opposite way around would be more interesting and I think more impactful. That the Deadlock traps don't work unless you run straight past them. If you try to walk past them, that's when they go off. And the reason why I think that's not a better change, but an interesting change, is because if you're close enough to the traps that you hear running, the trap won't go off, but you will hear them. So you have that like auditory information if they're full clomping. But it's just too easy against the Deadlock to just walk around the traps and just walk through them. So like having Deadlock actually compete against a Cypher or a Killjoy doesn't really work because their utilities are always going to work unless they're suppressed by a KO or out of range for Killjoy. The Deadlock, the fact that you can just walk past them, I don't like as much, you know, it's... I like the change to the grenade though. I think that change is so much nicer. I really like the Deadlock wall. It's an annoying ability to play up against, but I think the strength of it and how it works overall is really nice. Her ultimate, I'm really not keen on. Yeah, that is very old. Yeah, I didn't put in the new ones. Thank you, Sido. Also, you came late, so it's fine for you to not. Oh, you didn't know I was streaming today. I didn't know I was streaming today. I wasn't really intending to, but I woke up at like 6:30. Hunter's Fury is kind of low. Dingwei still manages to get 2 when he has a fucking Hunter's Fury aimed at him. 2 on site fighting. It's caught 1. Vukashu's on site though, and he's tried to bait the noise. That's so good. Man, Vukashu is way too strong. Also, one thing that definitely needs fixing, I think, about Deadlock. I don't know if anybody else has had this, but the sound when you're in the cocoon and people are shooting it to break you out is horrible. It's super loud, and it's also such a tinny noise. Like this one. Like you hear it from Vukashu's perspective, but it sounds the same way, but just so much louder. And I actually do think the Riot need to like change that because the sound effect is horrible. Spot from Vukashu sees 2 and it's like, I'm not re-peeking that. Aaron somehow managed to make that work. I need to find a sound clip. Like, I need to jump into game with somebody and record it and like put it on Twitter. Because I don't think many people realize it. Like, I'm usually not the kind of person that's like, oh yeah, right, need to fix this, right, need to change this about anything. But I do think that that is something that I want to like record and send to Riot and be like, hey, this sound is actually like not great. It could also just be my audio settings, you know, as well. But in which case it's like, hey, the audio settings, like that's, it sounds like it genuinely hurts my ears when people are breaking this. And so it might be like a volume thing or stuff like that. Might be able to curb it. Went to sleep around 8 PM, woke up at 3 AM. Went to bed at 10 AM just to wake up at 1 PM yesterday. Yeah, Christmas Eve I woke up at 4. But I was like just wide awake. It was sort of the same today. It probably is just like drinking alcohol or just having like bad food. They catch Spring. They know that YR Select is over there too because he just put down the trip. But yeah, it's been I slept really well at Beth's because I was at hers for Christmas. But yeah, last couple of times to sleep in here I've been very not sleeping great. Really is just that DRG are just getting too many kills on like the execute there. Yeah, we were at Beth's and her mum's for Christmas and Boxing Day, and it was her dog Fred. I brought Raph, and we had Eileen and another tortoise there. So there was like 3 animals, 3 people. But don't follow me back on Twitter. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people recommended you for like editing jobs, so that's probably a good sign. I'll definitely put in a good shout for you as well. So I'm excited for what Mr. going to do. Desperately looking for work right now. Yeah, kind of same.
奥丁这一面墙是只能穿墙能力强的，比如说像奥丁、正义以及包括数位能穿的。
战神也可以，
对，战神也可以，但是狂徒是不行的。
哎。但现在对 NIP 来说，现在看一下要往 B 点尝试。Aaron 这一分是有断魂锁到的，看一下断魂锁到有。
Mr. Bellaris will carry mists. Thank you for the sub, Mo. Hope you're doing good. Time to learn Chinese. Be handy for sure. Yeah, it's again like Vikashi's getting so much done. He's yeah, he just can't quite get it. Aaron's in a 1 versus 2. He needs to pick up the spike. He's not going to expect one flanking behind him. Oh, Vikashi's just doing so much good stuff. 在这场比赛，在进攻方遭遇了非常大的挑战，因为3次 Aaron 的终极技能使用，虽然都拉到了人，但是都没有能够拿到分数。对，效果有明显吗 ？Smoke wasn't great. Zedo can't do the Vukashi. I don't think many people can. He's 18 and 5, and we're just at the halfway point. And Aaron's 15 and 8, which is also like a pretty strong performance, especially on an age of like fucking Deadlock. And yet, like 15 kills when you've only won 3 rounds is staggering too. All attack as well as Deadlock. I haven't seen much up in either from DRG, which I think is also the other thing that you could do that's going to shut down Nip's comp. I guess we've seen a little bit of it, but it's not had too much impact. Yeah, he can't stick it. They gotta go. Leaving Spring to lurk is good. Why I select has to try and take space on B. It's 35 seconds. They've caught the lurk. Luke is still in a good position. He's very worried about mid, but because they closed the door, it's fine. Sees the omen. Gonna one way and just get out. Recon's really good as well from Dingwei. It means that yet again, with 20 seconds left, they just kind of have to run through the smoke with people facing. Like, they don't have the smoke for CT either. It's actually working out pretty well so far, but they have to get Luke, who's on site, and there's 10 seconds left to plant. Oh, and he's even got his knife out. Well played from Luke and DRG that round. 9-3, jeez. Time. I mean, it was even worse for KC because it was time to defuse the spike on match point. You know, it's even worse. Yeah, I think here it's not been punished as much for various reasons, I think. Just a lack of, like, you have the Deadlock utility, sure, but, like, lacking, like, KO knives or KO flashes or a nade to actually push people off angles. Like, especially if you're going for a B execute where you don't have a nade to stop people pushing out of the smoke CT. You're also not playing with a killjoy, so you don't have nano swarms. You're playing with a Cypher instead. So there's just so many opportunities for you to just push out of the smoke and take a fight. Because you're not going to get flashed. You're not actually going to get pushed out of the smoke, so you could just sit in it if you wanted to. I just don't really... I think the Cypher buff is really good for bringing Cypher's popularity up on a lot of maps, but I still think the Killjoy is better on Ascent. Like, the ultimate's really good. The Nano Swarms, I think, is definitely a underrated part of a kit on this map, on defense and attack. And obviously just the various like little alarm bot and turret setups that you can have. Yeah, all of the partnership teams have been announced. Haven't really had the chance to talk about them because when it was announced, I was like very ill. Like week before Christmas, so like the week before my birthday, was just very ill. Cypher's good at the moment because people haven't fully learned to counter him like Killjoy. I think it depends on the map. I think for Ascent, because of the fact that most teams play Silver and KO on Ascent, I think the impact of the changes to Cypher aren't as good as they are, say, on Split, where a lot of teams would play Sky or Breach, where you don't play the KO that much. You don't play the Silver for the shot darts. He plays Killjoy and Breeze. Thing is with like Deadlock is like, the problem I think is that her kit's cool. She has a lot of interesting ideas in there, but it's like if you're having to play alongside a traditional Sentinel, it kind of misses its point. When you have trips you can't break without actually being out on site, there's no countering that. I mean, shock darts are the main thing. Find the Cypher, leave the Cypher situation. Yeah, I agree with that, but also like a well-placed KO knife. It depends. I think in like the pro scene, not as much, because I think it's so... the UI is still on, just a little square on the screen. Like, it's so easy nowadays to find out, like, okay, we could take 5 maps of DRG playing on Ascent. Where are their common trips? Okay, we can get silver lineups for them. Or just make people aware of them to, okay, there's one usually here. We have a jet, updraft, and dash across. You could also find a trip with Skydog, trigger it, and destroy it fast. Yeah, but it's costly, I suppose. If you're using your Skydog to just clear trips, that's so much more effective for the Cypher. You managed to force out... If they're playing only Sky as an initiator, if you can get the dog out from getting any information, and the only thing that they get is where your trip is, that they managed to break, that's so much more valuable for you, because the Sky dog is such an important bit of kit. It's quite expensive as well. It's like the Aldron, right? It's just an expensive bit of kit because of how strong it is. It's why I think that if we do end up more in the Cypher meta, like sure I've said about like the Silver shock darts being able to break stuff, but also I think the Fade's impacts would be really good. Like I think Fade on Bind should be more popular than it is, with the amount of Cypher that's played. But then what do you get rid of? Do you get rid of your own Cypher? Do you get rid of Viper? This is done for Nip. Like this was their pick. And this was the map where they were doing so well. But DRG have dealt with it well. I don't know if it's necessarily been like a bit of an anti-strap for the Deadlock, but it just so far hasn't really looked like it's made a difference. I do need to play guitar more. I haven't played any since after Christmas because I came back yesterday. I wanted to watch Party yesterday, but I literally got back to the flat as DRG lost yesterday. They're having a bit of a comeback, and then as soon as I got in, the stream was done. So I was like, oh. Quickly glossed over the VODs. I didn't really watch the VODs too much. I had some of them on in the background whilst I was doing other stuff, and then some others that I just 2x speeded 4 bars. The RG second map was a travesty. It was a fake comeback, wasn't it?
数据非常夸张。而对于 Aaron 来说，他现在有点独木难支的感觉了，其他人需要站出来给予 Aaron 一些帮助。就甚至 Aaron 其实跟吴卡索的差距还不是特别远，这个击杀数。
对，
但是其他队友貌似这个手感没有能够热起来。
I'd say that the Deadlock on defense hasn't done a huge amount for Aaron.
其他人
对，自己队伍嘛。
Not that it's not impactful, it's just more we haven't really seen it do all that much. That was a flash from DRG. Like the only thing that Nip had there was just a one-way. I mean, I guess it's a bonus for DRG, but still, felt that they had all of the information that they needed there. I think the wall being there is so good because it obviously forces them to shoot it to break it. Aldred's going to check for some information. The wall, using the drone then as the wall's breaking now makes it very scary for Nip. Like, I think they've sort of realized, like, ah, fuck, we might have made this really uncomfortable for ourselves because they're both now anchoring on the map. I don't know if they've closed the door on mid. They're watching behind them because they don't know if they've been pushed CT because there's no information there. Yeah, fake comebacks are always the most annoying. So they closed the door and they're just watching CT. Nade's good to stall, especially combined with the recon. Yeah, worked out in the end for Nip. Hey, Mist. Yeah, we're online. Yeah, this is the team that's been running Deadlock. It's not really done too much today. There's some cool stuff. I think more than anything, like, I don't dislike the Deadlock, I just dislike the Cypher. But I guess you can't really do like a Killjoy setup on A, have the Deadlock on B, and then have the alarm bot mid.
A 马上消散，小到现在是在用摄像头在看，而点内的话是有一个中间的半线，这个半线通常很少有人会防范，对，因为半线要么是在开关门附近，再要么就是在 A 大的入口。但如果被进攻方突到那个位置的话，其实
On Ascent we do.
而言已经有点大势已去了。对，这个半线能够提供到的效果可能只是一个兜底的作用。
还在说。
A lot of just cutting noise and waiting, but against this comp, you can't really be passive. Like, you have to break utility. It just becomes a 50-50 execute. I mean, it's a great kill onto YR. I mean, Nip have done well to hold on. Mostly just been Luke just tearing through people. Ooh, sees the top of the head of the Deadlock. And, like, yeah, that nade, just the size of it is way too strong. Buff Heaven. Aaron knows that they're below just from the sound. The important clutch to win. Nah, I can't do it. It was well before my birthday, Mist. It was sort of like mid... It was probably around your birthday, if anything. We said about doing it for my birthday, but we ended up playing a lot earlier. It was very dependent on Duba. And now look at him, just a degenerate. They start talking about behind the angle before they stop shooting. Yeah. Mechanics from China have definitely up to par. Yeah, I don't know. I feel this we had like a lot of people like, because Prisma was playing a lot then. Mindler was played a little too. So there's like we had multiple people just sort of chipping away at it.
对，会有非常多的技能可能扑到他脸上。对，但哎，感觉有怀疑，雷击剑先给这个是应该是电半线的雷击剑，他是找半线的雷击剑，然后再看一下有没有摄像头，打一打。兄弟剑捏在手里，他在等。但对 DRG 来说，也不是非要去打这个 A 点，他们甚至可以往 B 点走，因为他们知道 B 点 Aaron 几乎每把在开局都会在 B 大给到一个阻御屏障，但阻御屏障它的持续时间是有限制的。
It's again really dicing with death for DRG to just wait. Because you're not clearing the wall either. It's just a big question mark around mid. Because the trip keeps getting broken. Or not used at all. I think broken this. Oh, the flash is awkward. It sort of worked out, but there's 8 seconds left. Is this actually just stuck now? Yeah, no time. Oh no, he's got it, sorry. Oh shit, the thing is actually broken.
那现在这个回防到底要怎么打？无效命令结束，已经拖了将近15秒左右的时间了。Aaron 他的击杀很关键，他杀一个这残局就赢了，他杀一个他就。
Right, 2v2. And Odin. Aaron's one away from the ultimate as well, so if Aaron gets the kill, it's just an easy ult to win it out. Never mind, they can't do it. Unlucky.
13比4，恭喜 DRG 在对手的自选图是轻松拿下。这两个人双拉非常同步。
I mean, of course, it's a shame that like this is the one game that we were watching. Like, okay, we're actually streaming for the Deadlock game, and it's just not really like having that much impact. I mean, Aaron still plays so well on it. That's a really nice shot too from Luke. Hey, Breezy. Oh, Breeze new. I see. I guess I call you Breezy because your name is like the CS player Breezy. Instead of an E at the end, it's new. Hey, Ryan's. Hello, everybody. Everybody's just coming in as the map has ended. Yeah, remind me to... I'll probably run ads where they actually go into like a break. I mean, there was some, like, DRG just way too good, like holding on. I have to put in all of this stuff manually, so it's Haven next. What were they playing on Haven? Is it anything crazy? I played Cypher there too. And they lost 11-13 to Attacking Souls, so it was a close game. For DRG, just a common comp. And they lost to Rare Atom, and actually lost to 17. So it's still doable for Nip to pull this one back. I mean, this is a hell of a performance. Considering the scoreline, 280 ACS is mad. Spring has been quiet, sure, but yeah, like Aaron and Spring, I think, would definitely be upgrades for a lot of teams that made partnership. We did play Overwatch on my birthday, yeah. Played like three or 4 games. The problem with Overwatch is just... It's fun when it's fun, but I just find that, like, no matter if it's a close loss or whether you get destroyed in Overwatch, it's never fun. Like, sometimes you have a really close game in Valorant that you're like, oh, it sucks that we lost, but, like, it was a fun game. You know, like, we played well and stuff. I think every game in Overwatch that you lose, you're just like, that felt horrible. But also, every game that you win doesn't feel amazing. And buying is a third map potentially. It's Path of Exile, it's PoE. What was I checking before that I wanted to go back to? Oh yeah, stats. Just stats from the event. Who's doing well? Yeah, Spring, I mean, it might be a little bit lower now. Xeno from DRG has been a good addition. Yo-Yo has always been pretty good from 17. Same with Luxless. But all of 17 actually have some good stats, considering that they went out first. One of the first teams. Monk having the lowest ACS. Is it ACS or is it? Yeah, it's not their WID rating. I mean, he's sort of off-roll at the moment, so that's not too surprising. KBG players, I mean, understandable, really. Martin and Viva. Oh, this isn't done by ACS at all. What was it done by? It was done by rating, but there is no rating. Yeah, Stu's farming, Life's farming, Spring's been doing well, Luke's been doing well. And then, yeah, Sasino as a new player for DRG hasn't been doing amazing, but that's Boy's role, I think. Any surprising names? I mean, see if that's going to fall down a little bit, because he had, what, like 50 ACS, because he had 3 kills. PoE mentioned on my ice traps. I could never really get into it. Like, I know I need to sort of keep pushing myself through it at a certain point, but yeah, I just don't. Get into endgame is just hard enough, and if I'm not enjoying that gameplay loop, get into endgame, it's probably not worth me hoping that it's gonna get better for endgame. Yeah, I'll run some ads now just so people don't get them in the middle of the game, and quickly go for a bio break. So yeah, BRB won't be long, and we'll be back for map 2. Ugh. It's really about the road to endgame in an MMO. Yeah, I'd say for like traditional ones, sure. I think the like World of Warcraft nowadays is more about endgame because the process of getting there is just a lot faster. But yeah, I've like agreed. Like I don't think me going into Path of X, I'll be like, oh, it's gonna get better at endgame is necessarily going to bode well. It was whose map pick was it? It was Nip's map pick, Ascent. It's DRG's pick of Haven now. I still want to check out Season of Discovery. But it's just I probably should do it at some point, like over this week, because people are still kind of working.
首先，他可以去一些比较。
I mean, I've not really seen how much Lost Ark, to be fair.
然后再加上他的暗眼，对于小道的进攻、A 小进攻、A 大进攻都是非常有帮助的。对，它是一个比较长狭的控制效果，而对星坠来说
Yeah, Beth's got a new SSD coming today. Actually, I should keep an eye on it.
所以他非常需要自己的一个技能的精准度。 而在这张地图，其实，在昨天 DRG 他们也是拿到了这张地图，但是他们在防守方的表现是十分糟糕的。对，他们只拿到了2分。而同样的，今天来到这场比赛，对手也是先行
8 stops away.
也是要从自己最艰难的防守。
I might disappear at some point in order to pick up the stuff. They changed their logo, but it was quite a while ago that they changed it, like a fair few years ago now. Like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. I feel like it was fairly early on in their Valorant lifespan. As a Xeno is out now and Yuchin is in. Yeah, I think it was around then. I think it was a bit before though. I think they played in Europe with it. Weird. They played with Xeno on this map last time they played Haven.
第2张地图将会来到对手的自选图，而且自己是身处于败者组，也就意味着这张地图他们只要但凡处理不慎，或者是前期劣势非常大的话，也就有可能就此结束了他们的这个晋升赛的一个旅程了。但好消息是，昨天也打过这张地图，就分差也不是特别大，但其实就是关键有2分，一个拉烟出，在 A 大的拉烟出，然后那一分是直接白给了，然后还有1分是在打一个必死的人的情况下用了狂烈之怒。 那2分可能没有打好，但 NIP 在其他的处理方面也还不错。对，要知道昨天其实他们在影视修索打的是 ASE 在影视修索的胜率是非常高的。他们跟 ASE 在影视修索打的有来有回，证明这张地图其实对他们来说是并不差的。他们是有非常强的竞争力，但是今天到底在面对对手，在面对自己手感不好，在面对逆境的时候，他们到底能不能够去翻身，能不能够去摆脱之前的一些阴霾。
So what is Yuchin playing? They're playing Omen. Okay. Really? How badly did they do yesterday? 8 and 18. Zeta just played on Ascent though, right? How well did they do here? 9 and... So what, are they just like, you're out in the middle of the series? I mean, this could definitely bite them in the ass. This could definitely be like a really awkward change for DRG. If they felt that they needed to make that change, it is literally just a player that has been underperforming that they're throwing in their sub instead. It's 2021, okay. Because it was the end of 2021 that they went to... was it the end of 2021? I think it was in 2021 actually. Yeah, it would have been. So it's like end of 2020 that they... I can't remember off the top of my head. No, yeah, end of 2021 they went to Brazil. Right, all 5 players for Nip are towards A. They already got a kill onto Luke. Right, how do they play these situations? Okay, so you can stud across there. Really good recon as well for short. 而且正义在面对不管是加恒还是 Valet 的情况下，这2个人压力是非常大的。正义伤害非常高，一枪身体就能把他们2个带走。剩下这4个人都是2枪的血量，先拉出来打一个。I wonder how much they're gonna go A because Bukashi's gonna be playing elsewhere.
神是有暗眼的，要配合这个暗眼去尝试性的去找一波机会。A 小是 YSL 面前还被封了个烟。
On sewers. The Cypher's pretty low too. Just peeks out the right time. Alright, good pistol for Nip. Did they win the second pistol on Ascent? I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they did. Nice stun and paranoia combo. Actually, that's just good utility. It's good execute.
最后的收尾也是非常精彩，对于 VALORANT 来说也是没有任何手软啊。
It's a common silver recon mod. I don't actually know it.
是直接买满，所有钱全部买掉，全部花光。和第二季那种起枪完全不一样。第二季是每次都是抠抠搜搜的起第二吧？
哎，要转往 C 点走 ，C 点是一个非常不错的选择。首先交战距离比较远，其次对于
Alright, not a force up for DRG at all.
C 点比较空旷。
Trying to work out where the camera is for YR.
因为他有3个人是小甲，都是可以被一枪正义头部命中的。直接摘掉，逐进来看一下雨神的位置很尴尬，雨神直接被打掉了。而2个人想要去打回防，闪好像已经交过了这个船。
I mean, these are good execute so far from Nip. Like utility wise, they're really nice.
C 大爆能器，怕被穿，就安全爆能器，我就5个人在点里守，争取每个人都拿击杀。
Did they recon dart that? Or was it a tag from like an Aldron? Nice little ace as well. Well, I was against an eco, so it wasn't. I wouldn't give it all of that spring. It's against an eco, like, and you're 1 map down. Just...
已经明显感觉到这个手感确实打得非常好。当然，对面虽然是纯前锋，但是手感的回归对于整个队伍来说是非常重要的。这个 ace 其实是可以很好的去帮助他奠定后续状态的基础。
Image.
而且上一分因为没有掉枪啊，所以 NIP 现在还是可以借助之前买的长枪数位燎犬以及。
All right, bonus. What are they working with? 2 guardians, 2 bulldogs, and a phantom.
那个山盟地线捏在手里，这个是要去配合 Luke 打协同，但 Luke 也不太愿意出现在。
And they're just walking up on A.
他开始是来到小道附近，但是小道设了一个门框键，所以把他给逼了回来。
延散了，这个过点有没有什么说法？但 Luke 也不打算加到底了，他怕吃到技能。哎，选择拉出来，
Awkward fight to be taking. Nick now has to face with a bulldog. Bulldog is just good enough, apparently. All right. This is we might see back-to-back aces. YR Select is looking in the right way. Ooh. All right, nice ace. I mean, it looked very, very awkward, I think, after Luke dies, but Nick does a splendid job to bring that back.
而且给到的控制效果，他可以说是完美的规避掉了。这是个背闪，非常快，再看一次啊！先打人再背闪。
Also very lucky that he does get the kill onto Spring there, I think.
控制效果导致到对手的2个人。
But the rest of these are just really awkward one at a time peaks.
鼠标移得很慢，所以他没有办法去背闪背这个闪。还要是就是对手给了一个烟把他给盖住了。
是的。2比1。
2 aces back to back, yeah, not for the same player, but
现在只差2个点数就
not quite got stew moments happening here.
而现在 NIP 看一下他们的进攻动向啊，有点想要去往车库尝试一下。乌卡鼠小身位 pick 已经看到了。乌卡鼠的技能是比较偏向于手中和车库的，他 C 点是没怎么放技能。
对，就是保住车库，因为 C 点里面其实很难站人的。哎，雷击剑直接给纳米风群也是被电掉了，但 Spring 好像抓到了乌卡鼠这个过点。
Spring finds the first kill again. But onto Vukashu is a big deal, I think.
对，刚好抓到这个 timing。那现在我开出倒了，少尉一倒，其实
Yuchin's walked up C long.
2-1点下就1个人，卢克晃看。
And the rest are headed towards A. Aldron getting onto Luke. He's still just jump peeking this. I mean, it forces out the paranoia, which I don't think connects onto Luke. They should expect him to be backside, and the stun just makes it incredibly awkward. Fight still ends up working out. in favor for Nip. They're going to plant right in this corner. You've got the Omen, Yuchin. He's TP'd over one trip. He's just TP'd over the second. The Cypher's now checking, just in case. If the Cypher does spot him. Yeah. So they know that there's one Heaven. They know that there's one behind. So these players are making a really nice adjustment to just kind of go for a link. Because it is planted for Heaven. And Jay just stays in that corner. Yeah, good adjustments from Nips. Good fights. Like, the actual executed utility is just kind of washing over DRG at this point.
但这分打下来之后 ，DRG 的钱倒是不多了。DRG 是断了连败的。我看是感觉打得比较激进啊，就他是个少尉，他是没有选择做一个后点位的支架比较求稳的打法，他是选择去拿信息为主。
Very nice stuns and all that jazz. DRG have to eco again.
有可能就可以把你打掉了。而且我们要知道 ，Spring 他拿的是一个幻影，在这么远的距离。
Never rolling thunder, but that's pretty much it. Outside of the ace, not many kills have come in for DRG.
糊脸的，有点胸口停球的意思了。雷击剑中心打到是75点伤害，卢克直接跑了进来。
It's a nice camera that too, because it forces you to come out to break it.
Nick 在小身位 pick， 但现在其实对 NIP 来说 ，Spring 的状态比较这个差的情况，因为只有半血了嘛，状态比较差的情况下，他这个进点可能会承担非常大的风险。
对。 现在堵了一个重 A， 因为 C 点已经往前顶了，雨神已经顶到了 C 外，架了一个小缝。他如果看到人，他可以。
I mean, conditioning from Nip has been really solid too, because they keep going A, so they're forcing the 3 people to consistently play on A for DRG, which in turn is like making Vukashu like playing spread out. Like this is an eco, but it's still they kind of play the same way that they have been on full buys too. The only thing that's like going well for DRG is they're getting a lot of like C-long control for free.
1打5的残局是给到了雨神，雨神这个残局已经没有什么可以操作的空间了，手上没有技能啊，烟还得等20秒才好，
但是必须得阵亡，不然会扣钱啊，只加1000块。
现在看一下要把这个技能给到谁 ？Aaron 有在直下了，他离自己的终极技能只差2个点，他肯定是很想拿到这个点数的，即便倒了也无所谓。这个对枪他对赢那更好，这一个技能点完美收下，配合着分
IP 下一分是要打，应该是要打 C 区的。
Could very easily be going to a third map at this rate.
但是明显感觉到 NIP 在这张地图他们的协同做得更好啊，配合到 Spring 的一波提点，双先锋的技能铺射。 在点内防守方式确实没有什么可以占人的地方。
果然，但这份卢克是有狙的，他狙架的是一个小道啊。但 C 点我们也都知道，吃完球架狂烈之怒，那点内站不了人。对，雨辰最多就是给一个过点烟。
雨辰这个，哎，
他是架了一条小缝，中断烟。
They're just good for a C execute at this point. Well, the quality's just gone to went to poo for a second there. Alright, Vukashu's out on site. He's flashed in an awkward position. I mean, the quality is just... Hello? Is it just me that it's going like crap quality for?
这一波 DRG 就是在你进攻的一瞬间，直接是选择了打一波回防，因为你在没有交惊雷卷地的情况下，对于点内的控制是没有那么足够的，所以在车库和防守方复活点是直接选择提前拉出去抓对面，想要去安置爆能器的 timing。
He gets fully flashed, I think, by his own breach.
非常多的信息效果给到自己的队友。
Surprised there's not been a timeout at this rate for DRG.
经济还是不错，对。
但DRG现在终极技能是比较多的，看一下乌卡鼠离自己的终极技能只差一个点了，而且有惊雷卷地，有这个狂烈之怒。
对，虽然两边都是2个终极技能，但是DRG都是只差1步，就只差1个点数就可以拿到。
哎，想要出吗？但
这肯定是狙，这肯定是狙，因为你没事不会用标配来打的呀。看到了，没抽到。
He missed. I thought he got him, man.
还要挑战一下，走了。
Vukashu got one just outside of double doors. But his turret's still up, so he's just moving.
这个距离，他就是这样被抽死的啊！还以颜色，
但还的并不是对面的那个截锋。
哎，怎么倒霉的是我啊？ ，Sofit 也有点晕了。
少了一个铁臂的情况下 ，NIP 近点会少了非常多的控制，只能够看嘉恒的暗眼了。
Great smoke as well on attack. Oh, very close.
插一个全面封锁，那自己就打不。
This is a good like.
他的位置会被锁死。
是的。哦 ，Luke 明居第二时间顶。
Good fake. This should be expected though.
技能吗？看一下战术监控，直接给出来看，看到了吗
Camera doesn't see him, I don't think.
好像有死角，对方打一下。这把明居可以接着架，但是好像 Wesley 意识到了这个凹槽可能有人。对，因为他没看到。
Not intended to push up though. Oh no, they do.
看了一眼，确实有人。
驾驭巨人，统统给我上！他现在可以。
Rolling further actually is good. Can Luke actually like capitalize off of it? They can't really. Jay was fully stunned, but didn't seem to mean much.
的情况下，反收掉了驾驭巨人的 TYS Luke。的爆能其实能够成功安置下来，但全面封锁让进攻方有点难去。
Chinese pro players love the overdrive vandal. I think they've just got it. That might be why.
那就是前面我说的呀，这没办法了，你真没办法，你只能躲这个死点，因为艾瑞已经死了，他没有技能啊，他没有狂烈之怒可以去打掉这个全面封锁，
现在只能看嘉恒了。嘉恒这个闪是吃到了一个正闪，他开镜的情况下不太好背，突然间拉出来，两边做了一波一换一并不够。
Alright, Spring 1v1.
开提前枪，看一下 Nick 手上捏的技能上
Good stun.
有逐风稍微规避了一下。
Oh, nicely done from Nick.
马路中间被 Nick 给抓到了。
Oh, good round. I mean, that was just well played all the way through. Like, for both sides, just a good round of Valorant.
山崩地陷出来的时候，也就知道对面没有在拆除爆能器，感觉有点急啊。Spring 在那一瞬间处理死了。
Yeah, good to see it from Jay's perspective.
在被震到的情况下，如果你头晕目眩，你的第一发是准的啊，但你的开枪会变慢。
对，也就只有第一发准了。
对，
我这个残局非常可惜啊，对 NIP 来说，
差一点就给 Spring 操作了。教练叫个暂停，没有想到是 NIP 的教练先叫的暂停，因为这个残局的处理确实是有点瑕疵的。
对，而且对于 NIP 来说，他们进攻
Surprising that Nip is taking the time out before DRG at this rate.
直到 DRG， 他们在影视修索得分率非常夸张，也就意味着你在上半场如果不能够拉开一个非常大的优势，那来到下半场，其实你来到自己的防守边，你面对对方的冲击压力是变得非常大。
就拿 C 点的进攻来说，刚才 C 点 Spring 是抓到了一个切剑影的雨辰，但是在DRG 的进攻里面，他的 C 点不会漏任何 timing， 他的每一步都是就是卢克走到哪里就有技能，对，要么是正的，这个人要么是白的，要么是黑的，反正他不可能是开出枪来的。DRG 其实在围绕他们的主角的为 TVS Luke 的一些技能协助配合上面做的是非常。
The tiredness is like catching up to me now. Time. It's only 10 o'clock. We've only been live for like an hour. But
相比起来吧，做得更好的一方。
毕竟就是为了让卢克打得舒服，这个队伍通常都会在很多地图选到双线锋。
I think I'm just a bit warm actually. I'm warm and cozy.
他就选一个双线锋，
而且双先锋甚至有些地图会比较偏向于带双闪的。
对。
Discarding current result, which team is better on paper? Out of these two, I'd still probably say DRG. Like DRG have been consistently performing better and better, whereas Nip have they were quite good in stage 2, but they just didn't make stage 3 at all. So yeah, I'd say probably DRG, but even with Xeno performing poorly for DRG, I don't agree with switching him out for Yuchen on Haven just for the sake of it. Like, you had a 13-11 loss to... Well, it wasn't even that. It was like 13-8, 13-9 against Rare Atom. I don't think... I think the subbing in Yuchen is more going to bite you in the ass than anything. Because then unbind who plays what. Luke almost got 2 of them. Like, they almost lined up there. Great recon, but Nick just can't do anything because he's stunned, and then Dingwei goes down too. Alright, 3v2. The Omen used the ult to get across, but he either cancelled or got sent back. Spring's low. He still wins that fight against Vukashu. I mean, the fact that Vukashu's peeking that before Yuchen is there is pretty bad. But at least Spring's like back in form.
去看，但 Spring 其实也很担心后面可能会来人。
对，因为正面一直没有来，他很担心人在背后。
正面先来了一个残血。
I mean, that's a tilter for DRG. I mean, I think they should have won that. I mean, Spring getting 2 aces in this game is absurd, though. Like, really well played from him. But you're in a... You get the kill there. You're in a 5 versus 3 at a point. Spring does well there. The recons from either side are really strong. Like, that peak from Luke, this peak from Vukashu in the same point. Just play numbers. If you're in a 3 versus 2, fucking play together. Especially when you got Yuchin that tried to ult, got it cancelled and had to rotate anyway. Just don't do that. Is it the title wrong? I don't know. What is the title? Oh yeah, I don't know why it is that. It should have changed. DRG versus Nip. Oh, I changed the title for YouTube. I didn't change it for both. Cheers, MBS. Hope you're doing well. Paranoia actually does hit. The Spring's just a little too scared to check it. Good util. I mean, Dingwei collects 2 with the Sheriff, so that's nice. No, that's my fault. I mean, the first part was right. Notice there's one there. Are they still going to go into it is the question. They're still going. They're like, it's just a Killjoy. But it isn't just a Killjoy. It's Vukashu who gets another one. Nick 1v2. He's going to peek with a Sheriff. Oh, just traded in like perfect timing. L-Stream, obviously, yeah. Also, Bichu, thank you very much for the raid. I didn't see it at all. Came to vibe, watch your games. Yeah, because I'm looking at the fucking... I got Twitch chat on the telestrator and it doesn't show hosts. So that's my bad. And people were talking about the tunnel from Germany, so that's my bad. Ugh. Blade Storm. Recon does ping and it collapsed too. Oh no, it didn't ping, it was on the other side. And then the shot gets one too. I'm too locked in. Yeah, I saw that you gave a shout out, which was good. Alright, good response from DRG. Now that they got the op, it's looked a little bit better. Yeah, Valorant related topics at Tunnel. I mean, it's just unlucky, I think, for those two. Those two as well, to be fair. Just like pushing in. What are we on? Nick is 13 and 7. Spring is 19 and 7. Sea of Fats had a horrible series so far. Like, he's got 6 kills across 30-40 rounds. Rolling Thunder's good. It's on the Eco too. Oh no, the Stinger! The Stinger just lets it down. Alright, good shots from Jay. They know that there's another on site. He is paranoid, so they can kill him. Good drop down from Luke, who shorted, and actually great shots from Aaron. Okay. I really do like the fact that, like, just on the eco, they're like, alright, send it, Rolling Thunder, go. I think that they just keep going A because Vukashu hasn't, like, started there once. It's a nice shot from Aaron, too. This is where you could be a bit more hype, I think, Nip. Attack up, too. Yuchin is a stinger. They're on C. Yeah, I think that Nip have done a really good job of just spreading Vukashu really thin. Like, it's the usual setups. He has one Nano Swarm. that he's just thrown down outside of garage. I think Nip are like, okay, we know that they've sort of pushed mid a little bit. We know that the Jet's there. We can go and execute A. And the reason why DRG are not playing as many people on A is because they have Rolling Thunder. So they could just retake if they need to. They lose going on site. And Dingwei fired to break the recon, so they know that he's heaven now. Whoa, Luke just gets the kill before he's paranoid. Oh, the recon actually helps him just get some space. Ah, it's brave. I have no idea what the hell was just going on there for a second. Nick's on site. Smoke's really good. Like, Vukashi's just going to peek out. Now finally gets to sort of play a little bit of Valorant because he's not really been able to so far. But it's a 1v2. The Springers are no. He's picked up a rifle now. Let's try. Alright, good stuff from DRG to make it a decent defensive half. It's just DRG's pick and Nip decided to attack first, which I think is good. Having a lead going on to defense, if you go in the pistol here, it's like such a good result. Yeah, I mean, it was looking like what they Nip were 4-1 up at a point, 3-1 up maybe. So DRG just being a little bit behind is good. There'll be a couple of rounds I think they'll be annoyed that they lost, like when they were in the 5v3 on A, when they just peeked one at a time into Spring to give him the ace. But then also the eco the round before this. Even though it was against like a Rolling Thunder, just being caught out, assuming that they're probably not going to dedicate some of that big. Yeah, like even though Nip are leading, I think DRG have been a better team, but they've squandered it a little bit. I'm going to feed Raph because I can hear them just kicking off, so let me give him some food. Yeah, it's a dry mop. How is the... Have you started watching Die Hard 4 yet, Miska? You're on Die Hard 5. Ah, I see. Share a mop stream. Fukashi just... I think wall bangs him from here. Just pre-aimed him, maybe? 2 on A already. They're about to peak. Oh my god, the timing could have been worse for Luke. At least he gets traded. I don't like the Dingway's facing on that angle. I definitely don't like the fact that he stayed there after the paranoia. But I mean, it sort of works out. Yeah, it's just a 1v4. GH running in on his own. Yeah, I mean... Bit of a panic. I think he was like, well, my paranoia is like maybe connected onto somebody I want to push out, but I don't know what his plan was. All right. Yeah, DRG. I mean, we have to see the kill from Vukashi at the start, because I think he did just wallbang him. Oh, we're not going to see it? Really? I mean, that kill was... What the hell did he do? I just want to see how he managed that. I probably should open Epic Pen as well.
是，而且从苏菲 baby 的这个技能上面能够看得出来，他上个回合是起到了全技能，在开局直接被川抽掉了。
I mean, it's not a great color, is it?
完全没有办法使用。
Unless I make it bigger.
坏消息，上个回合留的。对。
So buy up there, no force other than Spring having a stinger.
稍微传一下点。
And then they had 4 on A.
很多技能。对。
Could be a good read from DRG if they know that Nip on Ecos are pretty much stacking on A. Just to see execute is always the way to go. What's there to know about DRG as an org? I know nothing about them. Nothing really. Like, they're not a big org by any stretch. Like, even small orgs in China are like millions of followers, but I do think that DRG is smaller than that. And because it's Ascension, it doesn't really matter like anything about the orgs, it's just how well they've done. Like, Nip probably should have got in for partnership, but I think that I think money-wise they're not great, but also I think that they've done a lot of like Saudi esports related stuff, which it wouldn't surprise me if Riot's not necessarily a fan of that, but that's just me speculating. Oh, Arena of Valor. Oh yeah, they have won a lot of events in that. Don't you have carpet in this room? Not in this one, no. It's just a dry mop as well, so it's like you mop the floor and then you like... It's good for like if the floor's wet. So just dry it up and, you know, it's dry mop. They have 135 Twitter followers. I can't remember which org it was. Like on Weibo. Hold on, let me watch this round. 4v3. You got the jet pushing all the way around. There is an alarm bot there which you can just smoke if you wanted to get past. Hey, Cray. Maybe it was a factor. I think more recently though, like it was rumored that Nip were going to get in and then suddenly they weren't. And I think one of the things that has happened in that time is like CS wise. I mean, there's stuff that I know that I'm not going to say, but I think it is just kind of like, obviously in CS there's a lot more like Saudi esports related stuff. I don't know how involved Nip is in that necessarily. But... They don't have time. They don't have time. I mean, I can tell you about it like in scrims or in like WhatsApp or whatever. But it's just... I think they've done some stuff that Riot wasn't keen on. But I'm also really confused of like... Isn't Nip a Swedish org? Has that changed? Yeah, but they have... In their time in Valorant had an EMEA team. And then they went to Brazil. And now they're in China. But they have a LPL spot in China as well. Adidas shirt looking fresh. Thank you. This is like... I needed to get a hoodie because I got some McDonald's breakfast this morning. Because I came back to the flat like yesterday. So I was like, I'm just going to get... Don't really have anything in breakfast-wise, so I'll just order some. It was my way of like treating myself to force myself to watch and stream. Because I haven't been feeling like doing the China streams recently. Technically, we don't have permissions, but I think it's going to be fine.
C 点感觉只能够放给对面去安置爆能器了。C 点因为刚才也说了嘛，除了瓦斯莱之外没有其他人。
But it sort of worked out pretty well because I'd like do the watch parties in like the morning and afternoon, and then if there has been like scrims, I could just watch them. But it's definitely been a case of, especially for the because we were doing trials as well, which are thankfully stopped. Watching like all of this Valorant and then watching trials for us. I definitely got to a point where I was like, I'm watching too much Valorant. It's all just... Which I think is why I've been playing so much Valorant too. It's like, I need to like... I want to keep doing Valorant related stuff, but I can't keep watching the game. I'm losing my mind.
回防，首先第一个枪太差了，对于 DRG 来说，就对于这个
But at least like that's.
打了第一个人之后，其实 Spring 是在换子弹的，后面队友。
So with like streaming, I was a bit like, I don't know if I really want to be doing better myself out more. Not even more, but just.
第一时间 Spring 是没有办法补枪的，累积键虽然是给到了，但是我看出这个点位其实压根不换2发子弹，最后接住了。
If I get McDonald's breakfast, I need a hoodie. I had to go down and get it, so I was like trying to find a shirt. And thank you for bringing me back on topic. Yeah, this was just like hung up on the side, so I just put this on. Like I'm not wearing a t-shirt underneath. This is my. I need to quickly go outside and either go to the shop, so I'll just do something.
去改变，否则的话，如果比赛不进加时，也就意味着其实教练在场上的作用已经几乎为零了。对，进入到加时之后，常规时间的暂停会重置，就是清零，而且会给予双方一个额外。
I got very distracted.
加多少？加到2000比2000，也就这一个暂停了。哎，9比7。他们拥有非常多的长枪，他们拥有狂烈之怒，但他们经济是 all in 的，对，就意味着输了的话，他们下一分甚至要进入到一个存钱分。真没啥办法了，现在死马当活马医，这真的是最关键的一分了。
Kind of more of the same for Nip, where just start the half, they just have such a rancid time. It was the same on Ascent, granted it was on the other side.
昨天在这儿其实是出了一些问题，昨天在这是直接被来福刷了。对，但寻敌剑也是因为没有探到进攻方的人嘛。 所以就直接往前摸，但风险其实是挺高的。又找到了。
Saren has a Hunter's Fury. They are playing more towards A, so they're not. Thought maybe if they they're not going to go for like a C retake because they're just playing on the C site, just ready to fight with a trip, no paranoia. Camera's going to be annoying to deal with just because it's on the other side of the wall. I think Tiger Anonymous was doing a camera similar to this quite a lot.
消清无人机不清吗？通常来说，消清无人机要清前点啊，清了，看到2个人，感觉位置很尴尬。要给技能吗？山崩地线给出来。
It's probably a good camera for Nugget to pick up.
山崩地线，双先锋的技能帮助队伍是直接清空了 A 大。其实 Spring 和 Iron 站位是没有问题的，他们站这里是因为消清无人机通常都是在窗口附近开啊，但是在这里开消清无人机导致对面直接交山崩地线。
So plan comes in, they have Rolling Thunder. Yeah, Nip lost the pistol, but he also lost the burner, so they've had to eco twice. Yeah, I did. It was a good discussion on Twitter. I think... I definitely agree with the majority of people saying, like, not to use it. It depends when. I think for me, it's like I can watch split screen and take it all in, but the general consensus for people is that they can't. But you have to bear in mind, like, when we're at the studio for EMEA, and like, there's a screen that has all 10 POVs of the players on it that we can, like, just watch. I try to do that as much as possible. A big screen with all, like, 10 players POV, because I can just watch what one player individually is doing. I guys sort of prefer to have, like, more information to take in and less. Yeah, I think, like, I said, like, for replays, if you can have a QVS of the split screen, you could also have, like, players' reactions in that, like, scene as well. I think that there's, like, a lot of good stuff you can do with that. Because I think being able to see both perspectives from a clutch fight situation, if it's a 1 versus 1, I think, yeah, that's probably, like, a good idea. Also, yeah, this is good from DRG. Like, they get 1 on A, they just run B, C even. I know it'll be something that if Jacob is working on QVS next year for EMEA, like they'll experiment. Low key, I think I would pay attention to the game more if there was like Subway. I'm literally fidgeting with like a fucking like actual like stim toy for autistic kids. Like, I definitely one of those people that doesn't have the attention span for it. I literally have this on my desk as well, like a fucking little Rubik's cube. But I need to set it up, which I can't be bothered to do. But even just spinning it like this is just... I should have definitely got into the fidget spinner era when it was happening. Like, this is a good one because it's quite small. That's a little bit of a click. Because if I don't have something like this, I just tend to like pit my nails. Use the EMEA Grapevine moments if you remember that. Yeah, I do. You also got the clips for the Boombot as well, didn't you, for Raze? Oh, Luke! Nice. Okay, nice. You should add Subway Surface gameplay for the viewers. I know Bren has done stuff like that. Oh my god. Might be a bit much. Nip haven't won a defensive round yet. It has just been an absolute battering. Yeah, I think a couple of people on YouTube are surprised that like Nip is doing poorly. Like they haven't picked up. They came to China quite late, I think. So their team that they picked up isn't the best. They did some really good players on it, like Spring and Eren. I think are definitely partnership caliber. But the rest I've not been super impressed with. Wasn't CEO on Trace for a bit? He might have been. I don't really remember. I mean, I didn't watch Trace, I think, before Evolution, so... The Omens smoked on A and then TP'd, like fake TP'd across. But the problem is that nobody from NIP is close enough to see it or hear it. So they're not going to get pulled by that at all. So they're still on C. Gets the kill before the stun comes in. Rolling Thunder as well. Oh, trying to get into the smoke. Oh my god, he actually does kill Spring. And because he's hiding in the smoke, he's going to win this, isn't he? Oh, no, 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 no. That was too close. Literally ran out of bullets. Oh, nice try. I mean, considering a Rolling Thunder got used there, probably shouldn't have been as close as it was. Yeah, it's whoever loses this game gets eliminated. And the next game is upper bracket final. So the winner of this game plays the loser of the next game tomorrow, which is a best of 5. Like, this is just wild. What was it even at this point? It's like a 1v3? Oh my god, we missed the start of the round. Oh, they've made the ultimate. That's bad. That's That's the production's worst nightmare. If you do that in football, you get fined a lot of money. And by football, I mean like if a goal scored and replays have been played that they miss it live, they get fined a lot of money.
选择自己定位，甚至可以换一把枪再直架。Aaron 必须要打赢这个1v1，他们才有可能。而且他不能放小型无人机。这阵。
Dingwei just misses. You know that the breach is going to be in garage from where that stun came from, though, and they're very low. Okay, well they trade it out eventually. 1v2. They know where Aaron's coming from. All right, Nip are not going to be in the China League next year. It's done so. DRG making third, I think, is a real good testament to them. I wouldn't say it's necessarily too surprising, really, with the teams that are in this tournament. But it could be second, really. Ain't just me whiffing on the seal on flank hold, yeah. Season nightmare to play. I mean, I think if you're Aaron or Spring, you're still happy because you've had enough of a showing that somebody's going to pick you up. Any more games today? One more. And it's actually like a good, like it's probably going to be the grand final teams next. Because it's upper bracket final. I mean, Jay just gets caught out. See, Miska, even with like Omen TPs, even the pro scene has a couple of ones that are a little bit like... How is Vukashi's Mandarin by now? I think he's trying to learn, but probably not amazing. You reckon Nip keeps this roster? No. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Nip just completely like leave doing Valorant Ascension at this rate. But I think that like Aaron and Spring are gonna get bought by somebody. Because there's all of these teams as well. I got this. Like Tech probably keep some of their roster. Tyler will probably change a lot. Wolves will probably change a lot. So there's like some pretty big orgs that could pick them up. I don't think there's many orgs that would keep the same team for the league next year. The Made partnership. Yeah, I also found it funny that like Omen by HP sponsoring this. Not a bad sponsor though. How much is the fancy VCT logo in the back so I can get the stupid ideas of buying something like that for a university club? Funnily enough, I got this. I haven't plugged it in or sorted it. And it's a bit dirty actually now. But I got this from Riot. Which I think is battery powered. Yeah, and I might have actually got some batteries of this size recently. Where would they be though? I'll find it in a bit. I don't know how well it would show up on camera, like in the background, but like it's a good present. They have an office in Shenzhen? Yeah, because they're in the LPL. I don't know what Nip would necessarily do. Because I can't imagine it's that much cheaper to have a roster in China than it is anywhere else. I mean, if I had to like Spring played so much better there, like 360 ACS despite losing. That's a fucking Duba performance right there. Like Aaron also like took a while to warm up, I think, but again, I think plus 200 ACS on a loss is pretty like impressive. I don't really know. I guess it depends on the agent more than anything. Like what the barrier of. Okay, is a 200 ACS Vukashu a good performance or a bad performance? The DRG planted 8 times and won 8 rounds. I mean, the only round that Nip won was that clutch from round 20 with the Rolling Thunder, which was very down to the wire. Hmm.
在当时 Aaron 和 Spring 轮流发挥的情况下，两张地图 NIP。
Yeah, Attacking Soul versus Rare Atoms next. I'll change the title before we get
没有办法做到同时的发挥，也就导致他们没有办法拿到比赛的胜利。整个 PO3 的 MVP 是给到了 Luke 2场的结果，311的平均战力指数，2.0的 KD， 平均每回合有194的伤害。 而且还有6.5的场均多杀。
I think the reason why I'm not sure on what Nip would do is some of the Ogs made like a last-ditch attempt to try and make partnership in China, because you get all of the support with it. And like Nip has missed out in all of the other regions, annoyingly, I guess. There's just a lot of Ogs are like, well, if we're not making partnership, then it's not worth us putting money in to try and make Ascension because of how competitive it is. But then also, even if you win Ascension, as we've seen with like the guard situation, it doesn't actually mean that the organization is going to get in. And Riot have said that like even if you win Ascension, we can still like veto against you joining the league. So I think a lot of orgs are like, well, if we can go through all of this trouble, spend this much money, and win Ascension and still not make it in for the league, then what's the point in even risking that? And maybe Riot are very forthcoming about that kind of stuff, that maybe Nip would go to them and be like, hey, if we win Ascension, what are the actual chances of us making the league? Would we still get the green light? And Riot could be like, yes or no. Because there was a lot of orgs like Top, Royal Never Give Up, and Weibo, 3 massive orgs that just dropped their roster, didn't even bother playing Ascension. Probably for that reason, that even if they won, they wouldn't have got in. Yeah, I think in like having Nip in the LPL is good, but like I think that's the difference between like the LPL and VCT, is that you could be, not saying that Nip are, but you could be a really shit org, just horribly ran org that is just awful to be a part of, and you could just buy a spot in the LPL and you can continue to be awful because you spent money. Like you could do fucking whatever you want. You bought the slot, you can do whatever you want with it. But with VCT, because you aren't spending money to buy the slot, in fact Riot are paying you, you have to be a good boy for Riot to want to work with you. Because if you're not, Riot will just go, well, fuck you, you're out. Probably just want to invest everywhere to strike gold somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit unlucky because I think they saw it as EMEA is too competitive for us to like make international events or make the franchise league whenever that happens. So we're going to move to Brazil. And then they did some decent stuff in Brazil, and then Brazil and South America was combined with North America, and it just became this like mix, I suppose, where like Nip went to go to Brazil because there was less competition from like big orgs, and then those orgs were just combined with the Americas orgs anyway. So again, Nip just can't really compete with those kind of names. So they went to China, and then probably should have got in off face value alone, but I don't think they've necessarily been that impressed. Like I think Riot have not been happy with them. And when you have like orgs like Trace that have been heavily invested in Wild Rift, you have Tech that are pretty big in like other mobile games, with apparently Valorant Mobile coming out, I think beta like next year, like in January. Having those big mobile China organizations a part of your ecosystem early is like a really good sign, because you can maybe get them into the LPL eventually, but also if there is a Valorant mobile esports scene, you can have them involved in that too. Wait, who's it that they're interviewing? Who's it with the blonde hair? I wasn't paying attention too much. I think it's Luke, but I could be wrong. Oh, it's Nick. Okay. Well, I tuned in live at a very odd time. So I guess Glitch Pop is out. Okay, I need to watch the full ad in Chinese because I think that this is just a fever dream. Nice ad for Roman. I don't know what to make of that. 6-minute break. So I'll run some ads, go for a wee, and yeah, I'll be back to chat. Attacking Soul Rare Atom afterwards. Yeah, because they have like a backlog of skins. So they're releasing the new skins at the same time as releasing some like old ones. And I think they're like releasing them every week instead of every 2 weeks. Yeah, they have a lot of skins to go through and probably a lot of fans in China at the moment. Strike while the iron's hot. Anyway, be right back. Are these the right size for it? Where did I put it? Yeah, I don't think this is going to work though. I think these batteries are pretty much dead. -3. Not 4. Ooh, we have life. I need to clean this too, so let me just do that. All right. There we go. I mean, it's still a little bit day. Oh, it should just call 2. Let me open up this. Just make myself bigger so I can sort of see it. I don't know where I'd put it though. I guess probably like. You could sort of see it in the background. Well, you can't when I'm in the way of it. That'd be better on top of the... still can't really see it unless I'm like moving over here. I'm not in focus anymore. Hello, camera. Camera. I'm focusing on that. There you go. Probably further to the right. There we go. It actually is stopping me from being in focus. Hello, why is it not focusing on me? There you go. I'm still not in focus, right? Weird. I can't remember where I was. Wait, can I control? Yeah, there we go. I can change. Can I turn it off as well? Or do I need? But probably need batteries in here. Oh well, there's batteries in here, but just yeah, turn it off. I guess we choose like a light blue, just because it's Ascension. There you go. I just kind of want to shuffle across so I can see it. There we go. Yeah, I try to think if there's anything that we can get done. Am I considering streaming all of the VCT Channing games next season? I'd like to, yeah. It sort of depends on how it's going to be, really, because there might. It depends if there's a broadcast or not, I suppose. If it turns yellow red, you go out of focus. That might actually be true. Let me double check. Right, so yellow. Yeah, I mean, I kind of do that, don't I? I mean, I'm still out of focus there. But I'm still... I don't know what it's trying to focus on. Because I am completely out of focus there. I don't know if it's fucking focusing on the face behind me, but I don't think so. The green is fine. Red is fine. I think it might be like blue actually. That working now. I think it's because the light on me is not particularly bright at the moment. Ooh. There we go. Bit better. Oh, he's off. There we go. Let me do that. Alright, there we go. Maybe I ran out too early.
是的，这场比赛的重要程度怎么说呢？也是因为在我们当前8进1的比赛当中，最后就我们今天已经是最后一天 BO3 的比赛日了，在明天和后天将会迎来2场。
When are you gonna coach Trashcan to play like pros? Obviously, Duba doesn't need it. I mean, I'd like to play better myself. That's the problem. That's kind of what I worked out. I'm just like, I can't help. If I tried to, what I've noticed is if I tried to help other people more, first of all, it's never always solicited. But also, if I try to micromanage other people, I play worse naturally. So a lot of the time, I'm just like, you guys do fucking whatever you want. I'm doing this. I think all I've really been trying to do is just like, all right, if I'm playing Initiator, I need to be playing off the back of Duba a lot more. I need to stop trying to do things on other sides of the maps. But it is also very difficult to do that when you've got Duba attack hopping. Or he was doing it a little bit yesterday, like just kind of like lurking and just holding somewhere. But it's like, just go in, be the duelist. Go, go, go. Your breach will entry all day, I'm sure. Trying to think if there's Anything I want to check? Not really. I mean, I haven't really been tracking picks and bans. Maybe I'll do that now anyway. Maybe I'll just put them in. Why do I not have that? Let me just get this. Put that in. What ones have I actually put in at this point? The first, I didn't do the ones for Christmas, so I did do the ones yesterday. Let me do those real quick. Groups do all games. Actually, so was it Tekken Soul 4 AM? Oh no, I just did day 1. Because it was 4 best of 3s a day, which is kind of crazy. Alright, so that's that one. Rare Atom, Nightwing, so what is it? Breeze, Lotus, Split, Bind, Haven, Ascent, Sunset. And then 17, 4 AM, which is going to break. Ascent, Bind, Sunset, Split, Breeze, Lotus, Haven. Can I just do it like this? Will that work? There we go. And then Attacking Soul, DRG, Breeze, Split, Bind, Lotus, Ascent, Sunset, Haven. And then we are on to those games. In game yet? No, they're just doing stats and stuff. Is Breach viable to play as an entry, or is that a bad idea? Usually no, but you're like playing off the back of an entry. I don't know who would be entry if it wasn't for the duelist though, really. It sort of depends on what map, what comp, what sides. Is that gonna break again? It is. Gonna break. I don't know whose job it necessarily would be, is the question. If they're open, again, like I don't know. You don't really have too many teams attack open that much, and if they do, they give the op to somebody else, and then they entry. They like swap guns. I don't know what's the best way to kind of like make that work, if that makes sense. Breeze, Split, Haven, Bind, Ascent, Lotus. Oh wait, I fucked this up. How have I messed this up? Breeze, Sunset, sorry. And then there was a game earlier. Lotus, Sunset, Ascent, Haven, Breeze, Split, Bind. Alright. Everything should be up to date. We could just get the teams that are playing in it so far. So that's that, and then DRG. There we go. So Rare Atom have been picking Split a lot because of their double duelists with Viva and Stew. They've been permabanning Breeze, which is kind of in line with what they've been doing anyway. Don't like Haven, don't really like Bind. Picked a bit of Lotus too. Attacking Soul, they've been very spread out with their bans. Haven't played Sunset yet. So I wonder if that would be something that could get potentially picked up. But they've been picking Haven or Bind. So I think maybe Attacking Soul probably want to go Haven if that's a map that Rare Atom have been pretty uncomfortable on. And then Split, it seems like a map that Attacking Soul have been fairly happy with. Same with Lotus. So like map veto could actually work out kind of nice here for Attacking Soul, but I wouldn't necessarily say at a level that's going to define the series. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there that's like really shocky or scary. How long is the break for the next game? Is there enough time to shout? I think so, yeah. But I don't really know. If I VALORANT, I don't really know what order people would execute in. Like, if you go Ascent and you just play the usual comp of... and you're, like, executing A, you just go for, like, a straight A execute. The problem is like, you'll have the jet dash in here. You might have the Silver, like, recon backside. You might have a KO knife on, like, A, but you could do that one too. I don't know who's necessarily following up on the jet first. Probably the KO. Yeah, something like this. Because you'd have nano swarms for like, hell. Maybe you have nano swarms for here, or maybe here. And then you'd smoke this. And then you'd smoke probably there. But I don't know, like, obviously it's the jet that's going to be in mostly. And then I think it's probably the KO, the Omen, the Sova. Because the Sova's never going to try and play in on site, because you've got shocked out lineups and Aldron and stuff like that. So I think it's probably in this order. And so I think... I don't know. Probably if it was on Haven, it'd be like this. I don't know. I don't think it's like a hard science, but it's hard to really like say. So who is this? But again, we're bad. Yeah, but like it's a good question. I don't necessarily think has like a premise of an answer to it. But like I could be wrong. I don't really know. Well, I could be wrong on the fact that I don't know. I think you probably have to watch teams. Alright, so Breeze being banned out isn't too surprising. Attacking Soul have been flicking between various like map bans. Like Sunset, Breeze, and Ascent. So they're banning out Lotus. Because they know that that's about the Rare Atom might pick, so Rare Atom probably going to still commit to playing the split like they have been doing. So Attacking Soul have been happy to play this map, so I think that they're defending. And Attacking Soul are going to pick Sunset too. So this is the first time that we've seen Attacking Soul Sunset ever, I'm pretty sure. And then Rare Atom are actually banning Bind. So Attacking Soul here probably want Haven. So yeah, they're going to ban out Ascent. Okay, interesting map pool. This is really interesting. I don't think we've ever seen Attacking Soul play it. At least not in this tournament. I have a feeling that we have. No, we've never seen them play Sunset. They're pulling it out now in the upper bracket. Oh, HFMI is back. I didn't realize. Oh, that changes everything, right? It's good that it worked out then. It was just for the one game that HFMI had to disappear for. I didn't realize he was back. HFMI versus Stu, Viva versus Life as well. Team still committing to the double duelist is interesting. Right, we're in it. 3 people going to be pushing up B. You've got the Astra versus the Omen is the only difference between the comps. Skyflash for close with a one-way. Gets no information, is rotating off. You got 2 players just playing around the wall in A. 2 in mid. Actually really good control early from Rare Atom. The spike is still over towards B. It's the plan to just, like, if they push and they get the Astra here, that would have been a nightmare, but they're picking up the spike and just heading A. But, like, this is a really good clear. There are 3 people over towards A, a lot of space given up. No Cypher on either side means that this is going to get, like, really awkward with just timings like this and not having any information to work with. Skydog gets broken. They see that there's one Heaven. And then you got the 2 players that are pushed through B, actually going through mid and, like, wrapping around. 30 seconds left. Like, this is still good control from Attacking Soul. But now they're actually they're doing the Carmen core. They're actually rotating through. Zero can buy time here. Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I mean, it's somehow managed to work out. How Yihao is not dead there is unbelievable. How has Zero managed to fumble? I tell you, Monk wouldn't have fumbled that. Oh, that was awful. And the 2 defenders are low as well. Yikao is... It's the fact that he's not even like 1 HP. He's still got like half health. I mean, I think Rare Atom got a little bit lucky there. But it worked out. I mean, it's a scary call to make when there's like 30 seconds left. Like this, just... Good shot from Stu. I mean, is that surprising? Oh, my days. How was your Christmas? Really good. I hope yours was good too. And the first game was like, it was okay. We got to see like the Deadlock on Ascent again from Nip, but they kind of got battered. It was just DRG looking better as they usually do. It's just a good advertisement, I think, for Eren and Spring for various China orgs, though. They've both been tremendously strong. But I wouldn't say it was like an exciting series. Some cool ideas, but kind of the standard. Outside of the Deadlock, of course. Like, this should be a really good series, like, naturally. Yeah, the 2 favorite teams. I mean, I think a lot of points would have been lost for Attacking Soul if HFMI was still like out. But he's back in, which is a huge boost. Yeah, not today. I wouldn't say today or yesterday you missed much. Like, from this game onwards, like this, the best of 5 tomorrow, and the best of 5 on Saturday, I think they're the games to be watching, for sure. Oh, he's so low. 3 HP. Healed up to full HP pretty much from the sky.
这个枪械的部署，他们其实有2人是没有起枪的，就不会有太多的攻击损耗。
留了容错，就是万一队友掉枪了，没有起枪的同学也可以直接把队友的枪捡起来。
No, 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 there's one CT and one Heaven, so it should be. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the angle of your man's playing on there, but it's whatever. You only lose one. I think he only had a sheriff anyway.
对，但对于 RA 来说，这一分他们首先是没有损失长枪的经济，就队友遗落枪械其实能够捡起来。再一点的话，他们只阵亡了1个人，意味着在2分下来，其实在一些击杀过程。
I mean, I really do wonder why Attacking Soul have decided to opt away from Monk and instead of Zero playing.
本来进攻方就按照爆能器的经济加成嘛，然后再有控球，然后再加上这个前面2回合的一个更多的击杀，所以现在可以看到1号的终极技能反而是整个团队里进度最快的。
对，尤曼补了一把判官出来，他是
I don't know, it's just odd.
怎么样去贴到一个极近的交火距离，这是他们这一分首要考虑的问题啊。
01这一分其实处理的
Maybe it was like, maybe Monk had left and it was like an emergency sub. Yeah, well, I mean, they've only really been shuffling around Monk and Zero.
正义起了很多，他们这一分是5个。
But they're the IGL, so it's a hell of a shuffle to be making. The one that they did recently was just because HFMI, I think, had family, like, had a family emergency, so had to leave.
起了一把数位，这是他非常喜欢起的枪械，并且他的这个
But that could have been that Monk had actually left and he was allowed to be an emergency sub.
这个慢速轻石流打法其实非常消耗 AIC 在防守端的耐心啊。他们现在在前队位想要去努力拿些信息，你看到外之城已经在己方的长枪分对方的eco轮次、奖励轮次。
Oh man, Viva, this Marshall has been finding so many, like,
对方威瓦的直接
little kills.
还是一颗头部命中，直接快速的转 A。
When was the last time Monk played for them before yesterday? He played for them in stage 3 and they looked a lot better.
就在后点，但他手里有一颗引路之笋。进攻方的独木这个时候
So yeah, it's odd. Maybe it's just not like a good fit. Maybe there's just stuff that we don't see or don't, because we obviously don't speak Chinese and we don't know behind the scenes. But maybe it's just a Zero is just a better IGL in some cases.
懂了，你要来了，看要不要标点穿，标点了再穿，但是幻影的这个穿射在远距离其实打身体的话伤害还是
4v5. I mean, just enough time to plant. The bar is pretty funny from Marathon though. They have a judge in the hands of Yoman, who's playing an elbow.
踩雷飞剑给出来，第一时间 AIC 还是要拿到更多的信息，但是近距离
Stu's playing close.
带了一个2路阳台的一个木板。
Right, HFMI's made it 3 versus 3. I mean, that COD is kind of fucked now though. And the judge actually does quite a lot.
的效果3滴血还能操作，威瓦手里2发
It's a 2 versus 3, but Yoman is 3 HP and manages to get the kill.
直接架住了字母哥3-0的开局 RA。
So the judge buy-up actually went very well there.
说这样地图是
Positioned himself nicely as well. They just go for the execute and he just plays an elbow.
长枪分成功的稳住了经济。
Like, where was he here? He was just playing a mid with a judge.
AIC 的视角来说，他们防守端要想得分，其实有2点，第一点就是 life
Good transfer too, actually,
这样的一个节奏能够去起出一把
from HFMI to get 2 there.
这个手杀的压力。那再一点的话，如何在对方最后30秒钟的近点去阻止对方安置暴龙器？
我觉得打到目前为止，现在 AIC 想起名局感觉有点难。
I mean, there's also been, like, the problem with today is there's been a lot of, like, pistols and then bonuses lost. So it's just meant that we've had very, like, one-sided halves.
1的拿分率，所以其实 AIC 在上半场是有一些拿分压力的。
中路爆弹前压，这一分绕后3人，只不过没有闪光在正面做协同。
I like the free push in mid,
守
though.
住了 AIC 现在想，反正枪也比较差，那就直接压到了集市的位置，看到了，这是一个 timing， 但是对方2条枪线让 Life 现在有点尴尬，P0之虎拉出来，后点直接是被传死了。Life 交主锋，第2个主锋再
Ooh, okay.
被眩晕的就像反手
It's a shame, like, YE was there to try and support but couldn't do too much.
站位更加的集
And
中。
YH just gonna go for a push, gets a kill onto Martin.
在 A 点
Could go safely pick up the gun.
的位置几乎已经是完全明牌的一个情况下，追雷
Zero is
位置，并且这个爆能器可以轻松安装。1号现在有
caught out, unfortunately, timing-wise, but still a little bit late.
选择把爆能器先用自己的这个
And they immediately gone hunting for YH.
看要不要去操作一下。看到了对方，哦，这个好像正好没看到，两边是擦肩而过。
关键是已经大
Oh no, he just flashes around that corner.
反将之后，这2
I think Yoman just spots it before he gets flashed, but I don't think he gets flashed that much either, so...
从进攻方城点走，还是从下水道，还是从这个 A2 楼走？正好是抓到了。那
At least you managed to get the Seekers out
ASC 要不要去考虑
from Yoman.
目前为止，其实 ASC 能看得到，
But it's not that big of an ultimate, I don't think.
但是求变是需要代价的。就像这一波前压，其实一直是在 RA 的一个预料之中啊。
他们枪杆在，但问题在哪？问题在于 RA 在拿下这4分，他们其实没有用太多的终极技能，只不过上一分交了一个追雷之灵，甚至这一分还
Really early timeout again.
去隔断点雷的枪械。
那现在一狗教练也是赶快叫一个暂停去调整，我觉得这个
I don't know. You haven't missed anything, really. It's just been all rare atom for the most part. How much did I miss? Yeah, not too much.
Life 下一分一定是有经济能够起居的，2200的存款加上2900的拉满的战败补偿，就这一分需要商量的点就是 Life 这把狙起出来之后要去到底是架在 B 通还是架在中路，因为当前其实感觉绝大部分的手上
You missed 4 rounds, but they were all pretty one-sided for rare atom.
这确实是一个不小的花费。
Funny pistol, but that's really all it's been. You missed a roll? So far, yeah. I mean, it's been 2 ecos, so half the rounds have been a lower buy. Life actually has the operator now too. Play mid while he's just there to drop the poison cloud and then they'll probably leave. Oh, it just misses. I mean, he gets a lot of information, so they're like rotating around. Life is very unsure on where they wanted to like position, I guess. They've seen the Viper, but that is that going to keep 3 people over there? Skydog is just going to see 1. I mean, the operator is just off the back of it. So now that they can like safely rotate, or at least move the operator around. While he's seen 1, tries to fight, is just going to back up. Drops down to danger. The operator like fills that gap. Like good rotations from attacking soul. Like at the moment. I mean, Life just needs to be careful with this flash. Just awkward positioning. Zero tries to buy some time with the paranoia. Drav's going to pull him out. Makes this fight really awkward. Oh, it makes it very awkward actually. The 2 players on site go down. Yeah, I mean, I think they're like attacking Soul had like set themselves up nicely there, but I think maybe Life just playing out in the open on Heaven was not the play. But I guess it's good timing for Rare Atom to be here as quickly, because like the op being here is always tricky. Like even playing from this spot is not great, and it's not enough time for the op to like get here and like play these kind of sightlines. Okay, Jesus Christ. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, he actually did it. Does he have time? No, I don't think he does. No, oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh my God, that just seemed to be done. Legit, nice try. I think he just used a showstopper this last round, and he's halfway to having another one. Yeah, there's been a fair few like close call rounds. Makes it very interesting. I mean, we were literally just talking about like what went wrong for attacking Soul, and then HFMI pulls that out. Might be the Rare Atom are undefeated on this map. I can't remember. I think they might have lost like EDG and that's it. I mean, the Astra utility is doing a lot, I think, for Rare Atom. Fully flashed. It doesn't matter too much. Open sight. Yeah, that's a good idea for a flash. But I do care. Stu wasn't quite sure what the hell was going on there for a second. But HFMI now is just killing people. Okay, can't do too much else. 6-0.
0-6的比分啊，看一下一狗教练要不要考虑再去喊个暂停，因为当前除了一把明狙能够作为解题之策以外
SG's been very happy, I think, how this has been going.
难正面抗衡了。
而 A 现在就是在打太极，你在 A 点前沿，我就去 B 点提速。如果你什么哪个地方都不动的话，那你肯定是
YH has not really been able to do well. HFMI is literally deadlifting his team. He has more kills than the rest of his team combined, times 2. He has 10 kills, everybody else has 5 combined. Like, Lord, what's going on? Alright, Zero goes down to the dog. Oh, I mean, we saw one perspective of that, but literally 3 kills came in at the same second. They still have the spikes, so they don't have to commit to this. They got the Viper all over on A. Are they just hoping that people are going to peek into them? Because HFMI is kind of stuck here. Yeah, they're trying to wallbang him. Alright, so they get HFMI. That's good. Now they're trying to make noise. They could go A, they could put the wall up, they could do all of this kind of stuff. Actually would have been better, I think, for VALORANT if that caught them. Seekers in the hands of YH is really good too. This is still very doable. If VALORANT win this fight against YH, like here it's just buying time, slowing them down. Alright, one's crossed, they're planting. Got a Skydog, they're just checking Heaven. I think they saw the player plant bot. Now they'll know. So Yoman, 1v3, just tries to peek. Alright, finally attacking Sol, get it off the board. Don't really know what happened though, just because we saw it from a rare Atom's player POV. But just 3 kills came in all at the same time for attacking Sol. There's one. Oh, it was just a really good snake bite actually from YU. Both Skies use Seekers. Yeah, man, still like 10 and 4. I think he's like planting. So 2 ults at this rate. 2 ults in 8 rounds for Skies. Pretty good going. Because he would have got 14, so like he planted twice. Viva attack hopping now too. Alright, you're just gonna win the duel. I was gonna say, it was like, Riot were really like struggling to push the operator off the angle. The spike again towards like market. The time is getting really, considering where the spike is, time is looking really iffy now. Nah, I think you gotta go B now. Zero just needs to not fuck up here. Oh, the flash is so good for getting info though. They have to plan because time is low. Oh, he's running with his fucking knife out. Your man's pushed CT. Not really planted for him. He's there. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too critical. I think Yeoman just missed the timing, but it was also like a really good flash from Yeoman to get that information. From like, don't want to be too critical of Zero even. But he just tries to hide in the smoke, and then Clump peeks out. Isn't going to be able to stop the plant. He's 1-8. Oh, I miss Monk. 7-1. YU is a Guardian, YH is a Phantom. But pretty much a buy next. Now even Stu just dedicated to playing some Judge. And money isn't actually that great for Rare Atom. Like, despite them winning a lot of rounds, it's still awkward for the majority of, well, for Viva and Stu at the very least, it's awkward for them. Alright, if I'm the opening. Live just missing a lot of shots. You got the Viper that's also like holding on to ramp. It gets traded at least. He only lost the Judge, so it's fine. And then last is HF. And they only have a shorty. It's a weird one because I feel like Attacking Soul are playing in the right places. And Rare Atom are really like dicing with death with the amount that they're leaving the spike in like market, and they're trying to go A. Like time has almost caught them out like 3 or 4 times, yet they're still able to like turn these rounds into their favor. Which I think is, you know, very very scary for them. Wait, did I close? I didn't mean to close YouTube. Very scary. Ooh. Alright, round 10, 8-1. Viper's Pit is going to be in mid. Not really any other ultimates for Attacking Soul to work with that much. There's a Viper's Pit for Martin on the other side. Stu's 2 away from having another showstopper. 1 orb away from having Cosmic Divide. Operators trying to push out in B. Does get Stu. Good flash actually to pretty much confirm information at that point. Unless you're like in sewers. So perfect control from Attacking Soul. They have a player advantage. They have the Viper's Pit in mid. They have the operator on B. They have information on A. Surely there's no way for Attacking Soul to screw this up. Surely. Don't jinx it. I mean, it'd have to be spectacular, I think. Even though the kill came in just as I said it from Life with the up on attack. Sorry, with Viva on attack. I just didn't think that there was any way that they could really let that slide. Actually kind of quiet so far for Stu. Young Man and Viva, 12 kills each. Money is actually really tight. If Rare Atom lose this, they have kind of like have to force a fairly low buy for round 12. So this isn't really that airtight from Rare Atom. Might not matter though. Like, really good push against the operator. I really just bullied him off that point. YU can't really fight for Heaven now because he has to watch A main. So the Skydog can get so much information uncontested. It's good to see the Sky as well. So maybe they have an inclination of like, okay, Viper's probably holding... Somebody's holding main. Awkward now. Look at where the Astra is. Where's my mouse? There we go. It's faking B, so they're just cutting noise. But like, this is still like good information because the race pushed up. They didn't hear anything really. They might not have heard any clumping or any other utility, so they know it's a fake. So this is a really good like read from Attacking Soul, just because they got so much information from mid. It's still gonna be tricky though. HFMI gets one, gets traded. YU trades Stew. Martin trades YH. Oh, I mean, that's just more unlucky, I think, than anything. Like, Attacking Soul adjusted to it nicely, but just with a player disadvantage. Like, there's only so much it can do. Because they were in a good position to get information that it was a fake on B. But I guess, like, the fake on B did pull them away enough from the A side that allowed enough space for Atom to get in, to plan, and to Viper's Pit. So even though Attacking Soul didn't really fall for it, they fell for it enough that it was still fine for Atom to work with. I guess that's kind of how it'd work. And life is Bladestorm. Oh, he tried to updraft, but because he got clipped. Life unfortunately just sprayed and took so much damage. Is Showstopper, don't overheat HFMI. Doubled that nicely. Oh, the flash is good. It just catches onto Viva there. He adjusted nicely, though. Like, the fact that... Wait, he dies anyway. Okay, Zero has done really well this round. I somehow managed to make it work. That's fine. It's such a dominant scoreline for Rare Atom, despite the fact that I think Attacking Soul didn't play it that badly. Really did sort of feel like for the first 15 seconds of a round and the last 15 seconds of a round, that's where Rare Atom were more clinical. But it is like playing double duelist on defense. But it is the side that Attacking Soul chose to play first. So maybe now, like, Attacking Soul, now that they're attacking, might be able to do like a little bit more. Like, I don't really know, I suppose. Like, I'm at least hoping for like a closer map, even if it's a 2-0. I'd like some close maps, because it hasn't really been that way this tournament so far. At least for like the teams that are actually like competing for Ascension, I think that the games have been relatively one-sided. Especially for Attacking Soul versus whoever, and then Rare Atom versus whoever. I should probably message Beth this morning because I haven't yet. I think she went back to sleep. Oh man, HFMI 18 and 10, and they've only won 3 rounds. Is he still deadlifting? 11, 15, 18. Yeah, he is. HFMI is actually deadlifting his team at the half. He has the same amount of kills as the rest of his squad combined. Zero, I think. He got 2 kills and an assist, I think, the last round. But he was on 1 kill out of 11 rounds, which is not good. But they didn't really go B all that much in the end. But also, that one kill he got was in the pistol, where he probably should have got 2. And that was it.
都是 A、B 两个点的正面。那这样的话，中路可能已经被渗透了。YU 这边应该是优曼知道了对手来到了近点，但他没有任何的办法。字母哥在正面1v1的 battle 当中啊，是取得了先机。
哎，这主攻一开，现在时间已经不太够了。
哦，但是拿到击杀之后 ，ASE 再次转点，这就是我在赛前所说的 ASE 现在的这个战术真的跟以前变化非常大。他们很善于利用拉扯来去撕碎对手在防守方的一个布置。
他们现在在确定哪边是弱侧，
但关键是 Stu 已经从 A 点完全压出来，甚至都到下水道了。这个 B 点的进攻已经是个名牌，但是
Interesting position. Alright, Yihao dies, but Viva's in a great spot and just kills them all. Holy shit. Really good position to be in as well with a Viper wall. Just one player demolished him. Just one. Viva gets... I mean, somebody's got to trade him there. Somebody's got to do something. Yeah, HFMI is back. That was a 5 versus 3 lost by Attacking Soul. It's just... mad. I think HFMI gets that first kill but takes enough damage that it's an easy, like, kill in the end for Viva. So he must be even more tilted. Your man hasn't bought up here either. So, like, him dying here isn't a big deal in regards to giving guns away. But it's still, like, numbers now. Especially in a 4 versus 4. This is a really awkward fight. I wouldn't... If I was Yihao there, I wouldn't take that fight. It's just not worth it. That's absurdly good shot. Oh, just get out. Right, 4v3. I mean, somehow it's just working out for Attacking Soul. Zero's doubled his kill count in this round alone. HFMI just fell to the death. I don't think they mind from the looks of it. Yeah, really not bothered that they just fell to the death. I mean, Zero's literally playing like I do, and is just like a fucking idiot. Just like when you're peeking, taking a fight, and then immediately pulling a knife out and then doing it again. Like, this is a death match. You can't do that. You don't want to be doing that in a pro game, buddy. Now, Zero has gone from, like, bottom fragging to being behind HFMI, but really that's not been that hard so far. Yeah, it is HFMI with the white hair, I think. I'm going off the cameras, but the cameras are sometimes wrong. Thank you for the sub, Blinded. I'm gonna eat some lunch. Yeah, we'll be here. I got a meal deal sandwich yesterday just in case I was streaming today, which I'm glad about. Past me looking out for future me. That's why you need to lead instead of fragging. Yeah. Right, so Attacking Soul have done like a decent job to not get caught out by any of these pistols. Yeah, Life also has white hair, but did HFMI have glasses? I can't remember. Zero's just going. At least he has YH there to like support. I mean, here it's just doing damage if you stew. I mean, money is still kind of fine. I mean, these other 3 players don't really want to be going hunting. I mean, if Stu saved a Guardian as well.
这个回合战罢之后 ，ASE 艰难的继续追分。
His money should be that bad. Yeah, that's life.
没有能够把握住相应的站位和交火距离，掉了一把枪，导致经济逆转，对方持续的囤积血球。现在比分的差距其实没有，就是上半场换边之前来的那么快了。
但现在对于两支队伍来说，第一波终极技能其实非常关键的，并且在下半场 ，Viva 非常早的起出了
Viva
他终极技能还差1个点，玩焰火也差3个点。
All right, no longer does HFMI have more kills than the rest of his team combined, so that's nice. Oh, he missed. I mean, Yoman didn't, so that's fine. Oh, but HFMI gets 2. Maybe he now has more kills than the rest of his team combined. They can heal him up too. So, 1 away from having Omen ult. They're going to have it now because it's Zero that's planning. Kind of odd, but maybe they overplan. I mean, is there any point Omen ult in anywhere now? I don't think so. If you didn't have the Viper up on ramp, you could maybe do it there. But here, just play an elbow like off the back of YU is probably just fine. And then a save. All right, attacking solo like pulling this back. It just might be very attack-sided rounds. Oh, and it's getting chilly in here, which is nice. I've had fun today streaming as well, which has been good. Not that I've not had fun streaming other times. I mean, the whole Afrika thing, like not being able to like have the game on stream, I think probably burnt me out a little bit because I'm like, I didn't feel obligated, but I was kind of like, well, the China stuff has been going really well, so I might as well like try and do other Pacific events. But I probably should have just not bothered really. I wanted to do Convergence, but I was just too sick. And then I think it just got to a point where it's like, I've just... You know when you just keep saying no to stuff and it just becomes the norm. Also, it's meant to be time off. So...
那这一分就属于双方雷兹终极技能的博弈了，谁拿首杀，谁开这个晚焰火。
关键对于 ASE 来说，他们要先找狙，就是理论来说，狙拿首杀的概率也不低。
Yeah, that too. Like Convergence was just a little bit of a mess.
那这把明狙就有非常大的发挥空间。
而且 tab 键是实时的，就其实，在听到声音、听到控球的声音之后，他们能够确定对方在 B 区的是这个雷兹。Still 离自己的晚焰火差1点，现在是 ASE 的第2矛盾点。
ASE 这一波 fake 好像是完全骗到了，完全骗到了吗
I mean, those were like kind of horrible smokes from Yihao. Look at the one on ramp. Like, what is this? One that was there. They don't have time. Where are they going? Are they going to Omen TP to A? So it's just the Omen on their own. So yeah, like he's just going to showstopper to push him. So now there's definitely no time. Oh my god, how did he get that one? Alright, Stu. That's the typical thing that we expect from him. I mean, it's also really smart with how Stu dealt with the plant. Like getting the first kill onto the Viper as they're trying to quickly go A. But this flick is just... reads that so well. It's not Stewie 2K, no. It's a Korean player called Stu. So the problem, though, really is just that Rare Atom had such a dominant first half that even if you're, like, doing well on the second half, you can only let so many rounds go.
来到魁首而不是0的情况下，其实他单摸和单躲的强度没有之前0那么高了。这也是因为就是2个角色位置的一个定位不同嘛，0还多一些像赛博囚笼啊、战术监控的信息，战术监控的技能能去探狙。那现在他们那个默认其实有一点
Got all of their notes up.
那种近点打法的思路，但感觉最后的一波流冲点。
I mean, Attacking Soul seem to have more notes on theirs, but they actually have screenshots.
一狗教练必须要解决现在 ASE 场上的遇到的一些，不管是心态还是战术上的问题。ASE 其实，在互换当中也是偶有能够去占领到一个比较有优势的开场，但是他们一直没有办法把这个优势转化为自己最后拿分的胜势。而当下的这个回合 ，ASE 字母哥手里的网
HFMI is 24, 29. He's 4 kills behind Deadlifting.
给到自己的团队 B 点提速买保险的一个技能。
是，但你要注意到这波进入 B 区，明居在，加上重力之井和蛇吻，
明居会摘掉这个晚焰火吗？
Viva's not even up and Stu is.
就在脸上，有人会肯定会帮忙打这个濒临之火。
Ooh, I would have thought they'd taken a shot then, because sometimes players just get the timing. Not sure where the raise is. That's a great nade, though. If he didn't hop, he might have got the kill there. And I don't know if he hopped because of the like mouse scroll wheel or just a bug that you can sometimes get. You could wallbang that, surely, yeah. Not a great position for HFMI to be in anyway, I don't think. But the rest of Attacking Soul are clearing up nicely. Shame that Viva can't get the up and just save that. You kind of have to eco anyway, so, like, is it worth getting exit frags? Kinda, because the money isn't great for Attacking Soul either. Almost. Yeah. Tried, but well played from Attacking Soul to just wait for the wall and just to get out. Not to fuck around too much. Oh, is it the satchel? The satchel that he threw down knocked him up in the air. It wasn't him jumping. So he kind of accidentally screwed himself over, I think. 18, 27, yeah, 5 kills behind. I actually think I prefer like Rare Atom's default, even though this is on an eco, but like I kind of prefer teams having a Sky on B. I guess there's also an element of like, if you're not playing Omen, you don't have that paranoia for B main. So playing the Astra there isn't really that great. But I also don't really... The Jets on site, do they have an inclination? We get her anyway. And the 2 players from Attacking Soul are rotating over to A with their knives out. Alright, 1v4. Did just lose against an eco. Oh, like a low buy at least. Always the ecos. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's without the E. Brave from Viva. They don't clear him though. Good read. It's more that, yeah, like, Attacking Soul didn't expect hit. Like, the flash goes off, but they still just think that it's, like, towards male.
网友还比较担心魁父里面可能会有人钻出来打他的背身，但与此同时 ，ASE 的大部队已经在 B 区进行了一波发动攻势。踩雷飞剑再把人逼回去，RA 现在防守。
Made them back. You got the Viper's Pit on ramp, which is pretty interesting. From RA. Oh, the wall timing. Viva surely expects this. Yeah, dodges the flash perfectly. And Life gets caught up by Martin anyway. Is there any way for YU to get the spike here? 35 seconds. The Seeker's chasing him. The Viper is running right in behind and Martin clears it up. Oh, I mean, it's Rare Atom too good. This was their map pick, and this has like been their main map pick for quite some time, I'm pretty sure. Like, everything just works out nicely. But not good enough for Attacking Soul. Like, not if they want to actually win this tournament. Which they should be doing. Like, I think that this would be the final, but with the way that Attacking Soul have been playing some of this, like, did Attacking Soul play DRG at all? It did beat DRG, and they did do it pretty handedly. So this is likely to still be the grand final. Next map is Sunset. So we've never seen Attacking Soul on it. Rare Atom, what comp did they play? Did they play the Sova? Was that them? They did, but they haven't played it for a while, so they might have changed it. Omen, Viper, Cypher, Raze, Sova. So it's kind of risky, I think, for Attacking Soul to be picking Sunset against a team that you've not seen them play this map since last month. Well, earlier this month even. No, wait, it was last month, sorry. I thought for some reason that Evolution Series was in December, but it wasn't. There's definitely a lot of moments like this one where it's just like it's absurdly strong from Viva. Like, great shots, great positioning, but like Attacking Soul, there's so many rounds where they just fumble it a little bit, and Rare Atom can run with that. It's like the hallmark of a strong team is that sense of if there's a mistake that's caused by if there's a mistake that happens for the enemy team, you can punish that enough that it ruins them. Even if it's just a small minor thing, you basically take a mile from that inch. I mean, naturally, I think that, like, I'd love for Rare Atom to win this tournament. I'd love them to win Ascension. Like, I like the Attacking Soul team, but I think that they'd probably get picked up anyway. But Rare Atom, like, they are the second best team in their region. Like, they should be playing a part of it. Even without Yeoman. Yeah, the roster mania is going to be really fun to watch. I just genuinely don't know how it's going to like look, really. But it's really exciting that you have a lot of orgs that don't really have like proper teams. It looks like some of them are like picking up individual parts, some of them maybe picking up full rosters. Like, it's a really like good system, I guess. It's a good mix, I suppose. And because the scene is still quite early and there's a lot of unprospered talent in the region, I don't think it's going to be like EMEA, where the teams that stay together or just have upgrades actually dumpster teams like Giants and Koi that were like having to individually string bits together to make it work. Do you see Trace being number 2 if our Atom don't get a good IGL? It depends, really. I think FPX can definitely push them. it depends kind of what adjustments are made, at least at the start of the season. Yeah, I think that's the kicker. Like, who do I think out of all of the teams that are going to make Madrid? Yeah, EDG and probably Trace. But in that time, I could see FPX getting a lot stronger. Trace, I don't know if they'd make any roster moves realistically. There's either barely any time to pack together or barely any time for the players to rest. Yeah, I mean, I do think that the tournament is going to be kind of a mess. Thank you for the sub, 8 volley. Very appreciated. Thank you. Never good with saying thank you to people for. It feels so. As a YouTuber, I guess it feels so like surreal, I guess. But thank you. I mean, you've also got EDG playing a tournament late next month too. Winner of Ascent should be grinding all year, 1 month breaking and back to cyclic schedule of VCT. It used to be like that. It literally was like when Ascend won Champions, it was like December the 11th. They were back on January the 11th, playing VCT for the next year. Literally had a month exactly break. Yeah, it was a tough one. What is EDG playing? I think they're playing some like China tournament at the end of January. Like, a Free Nations one, I think it's called. Anyway, I'm gonna run some ads and go for a wee, so I don't want people to get ads in the middle of the games. But yeah, mate.
收看到的是5位契约 CN 联赛晋升赛的比赛直播，我是解说奶爸，
我是解说开。
那么刚刚其实我们看到了 ASE 对阵 RA 的第一张地图，霓虹町已经是战罢。其实这张地图两支队伍打出了一些非常精彩的战术以及拉扯转移，包括一些小细节的这种套路，其实都打得非常的精彩。但是 RA 选手的个人发挥明显是要更好一些。
特别是 ASE 在就是可能模仿对方的一些经典节奏的一个情况下，你会感觉他们的临场应变反而总是被 RA 抓的一些过点的机会。我觉得这个是非常的可惜的。就你把思路回到上一张地图的一个下半场，你能够感觉到 ASE 他们已经有点找回自己的一个状态，但是连续2分的1分这种一口局的3分是有点打破他们的一些追分的信心的。
就是其实我们可以看到 RA 和 ASE 他们都是有自己的节奏或者是连续打分的这种情况在里面的，但是每一次来到关键的时刻 ，RA 总能用他们的一些技战术去把现在场上的劣势变化为。
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot wrong with the season as a whole for China. Like, naturally, it's just all boxed in at the start of the year. But that's mostly because of Worlds, I think. They don't want anything to be around that time. But I just think, have it like a football season or a school term, where the start of the season is like August, and then have it play till like May of next year. And then you've got like the regional stuff happening whilst Worlds is on. And then when Worlds is done, you could have an event like November, have all of December off, come back January, have stuff play through. And then have champs, instead of having champs in like August, September, just before Worlds, you have it in like May, June, July. And it's not boxed in at the start of the year. It's because I think that's just the easiest way to fix the schedule, I think, for VCT. Is that I genuinely think it is just that easy of like, instead of having it be like this, where this is like 2024, instead of having the season start for VCT like here in February and then end here, you have it, so do it this way. You have it, so the season for 2025 or whatever starts like here. If I do it like this, that's the VCT season. It starts here and then goes into the next year a little bit. That makes sense. So if this is 2024, 2025. I think that's just such a better way of approaching the year, because the problem with VCT overall, let me mute this for a second. The problem with VCT season overall is Worlds. Like, Worlds is this big event in League of Legends that happens like in October, November, that takes up like a month. So nothing around VCT can really happen at this time, like especially international events. So what you have is like the start of the season starting in 2024, like in February, and then ending early, so everything's done and finished before World starts. But I think that the best way to go about it in the future is not have the season start right at the start of the year. Have it like a football season or a school term or whatever, where it starts like middle of 2024. So whilst Worlds is going on here, you have like events happening in EMEA in Americas. You don't have any international events. Then Worlds is done. Maybe you have one here. But you have champions like at this time of year. So it doesn't clash, and it's nowhere near Worlds at all. It's like 6 months away. I think that's the best way to approach like making that scene better. Anyway, comps. We've never seen Attack and Soul play it. They're running Double Initiator with a Cypher, which I kind of like. I think that the Viper is like losing its charm a bit more. Stu is still here. I mean, at this point, you might as well just stay. He has managed to get out. I mean, this is still fine for Attacking Soul. Like, you could just cut noise. You're putting some pressure over towards A. It's still that tripping market, and it's still the camera on B. But like facing here, like Martin's pressured. He's cut information for himself. The camera's been put up. Now they're going back B. This is a really good call from Zero. Like everybody's just flat out rotated over. They brought the camera, now they're going B. Stu is still alive and still gets a kill. Knows that market's not been pushed because of the trip there. So it means that there's a retake that can come through mid. And this attacking orb is really good for... Oh no, sorry, I was thinking it was the door from mid. It's a good orb. Stu gets 2 on 28 HP. YH. Alright, 2 versus 3. Stu's got to kill them all, isn't he? He's going to like get the 4K. He should have died in like the first 15 seconds of the round. And he ends up clutching it out. He doesn't have time? No, of course he has time. Stu. Oh, how does he get away with this kind of stuff? Also, who in their right mind? Like, you're a duelist. You get brought down to 25 HP. Who goes, all right, I'm playing B main, I'm going to push mid. Like, who thinks this way? I'm pretty sure that, like, China, like, he's the protagonist of China. He's the Korean player that's gone to China and just owns the show. Like, that is unbelievably stupid. And it's another round where Attacking Soul have the great read and the great call, and everybody just loses the fights that they should be winning. They're doing the broken Aldron.
而且这一分你会发现 ，RA 他们的站位非常非常的靠后啊，就算你能够敲掉我的枪械，你也很难得到升级。ISE 进攻 B 区已经是板上钉钉了，这波 B 区必须得快走。被点了2枪身体，海灵远距离好像真不太好发挥。对，手里有一个赛博囚笼，这是他唯一的生存之道。赛博囚笼能招吗？好像不太好，不过用枪解决了。Life 的枪比较差，被对方近距离海灵给操作了。正面再回来 ，RA 把枪线完全拉开，爆能器虽然是安装了，但是人数差距已经是彻底被拉开。 那剩下最后 Zero One 一个人，手上一把标配，一颗暗眼。
Zero 1v4。
他能够做的事非常的有限啊，但是能下一把枪是一把，因为刚刚奶爸也提到了，这一份 RA 是全起的。给个格言，好稳啊 ，RA 还等了一手，反手推了个暗眼。
Stu got hit by his own teammate's paranoia. I'm gonna say Zero didn't use it. Yeah, you got the plant at least, like, not bad eco. You got the plant, you got a kill. Probably should have been more, but now Stu is his ultimate. Just typical BS.
所以他现在多了一个能量点之后有晚焰火了，太夸张了。这长枪回合 ，ASE 刚刚准备稳下节奏，就要面对对手一个晚焰火，这种终极技能上的差距，现在 ASE 的选手会有点难受。而且他们刚刚留存了很多的枪械，这一分对于 ASE 的这几个轻甲来说压力依旧很大，还是要打啊，还是要打0个点。这个字母哥本来有一个技巧。
Satchel actually not. Oh, it's a good recon lineup.
被秒打呀，这兄弟剑。
That's one to learn.
电掉了震慑半线，这应该是 ASE 每一回合要做的事情，就是他们通过自己更。
Bro, that's like pretty much giga bonus in this. The Yeoman has only picked up the one trap.
每一回合都可以如此，也是因为这张地图0的半线比较烦人。
Got the camera in the same spot. Like, it's a really good spot for the camera because it's hard to break. I don't think a recon, a shock dart could really catch it either.
而且这一分 still 是在的哦，这踩雷一交，明牌告诉你你要往点里冲，我晚一会来轰你。
Gonna go back. Martin's sort of doing the same thing as he did last time. I think rotations are a little better. And Zero just loses out, and also that's a gun upgrade. Like, Stu is, I think, obviously gonna like push mid and take that gun at this rate. Oh, I thought somebody would. I mean, the Spectre's just too good. Showstopper's there. Just one alive. Stu kills him anyway. Alright, so that's more of this happening. More of not only a rare atom winning pistols, they're winning bonuses too. Especially on defense. Like, it could be more of the same of what we saw on Split. Like, it's a good position for Viva to be in, I guess, but I feel like Zero, the way that he peaked and took that fight was just not great. It's another early timeout for Attacking Soul. Like, on Split, it was like they were 4-0 down and they timed out, and then the second timeout that they had was when Rare Atom got to match point. Like, you don't really get to make adjustments, it's just very reactionary stuff. It doesn't really feel like there's as much oomph behind it as well when you're running double initiator. I'm not necessarily saying that the Viper's better, because it's not really come down to that. But I would have thought that, like, with the breach, you would have felt like the stun and the impact from it a little bit more than we have done so far. Has he got a recon? Oh, seems that he does. He's found something. Oh, it goes onto that palm tree. Cypher's moved over to A this time. Good change, just keeps him moving. They know that the Viper wall's on B, and they just try to push CT and get caught. Nice from Yihao and Viva. Like, nobody was really pressured anywhere else, so they dealt with it. Yeah, good util. Rounds like that could always get a little bit messy, but I mean, clean as you like from RA. Stu is 9-0. Ooh, Life tried to get in before the door closed. And now that they know that the Viper's actually moved over towards B, it's a good call to just go for a fast, like, B execute. Paranoia actually gets onto Stu from his teammate. He's got 5 bullets. Can't quite get it. Alright, 2v2. Oh, this is risky. This is so risky. Oh, it actually almost went out. Oh my god, 30 HP as well, yo man. I mean, I want to see how that round looked from HFMI's perspective. Yeah, he should have died in the first 9 seconds, and yet he's alive 5 rounds later. He has actually died now, though, which is, I guess, good. He just doesn't get the headshot. This is attack until rare atom? Yes, it is. The title should have changed, but it might not have. Nice shot from Stu. All of the Cypher utility is still up. Really, I wonder how good KO is on this map instead of the breach. That's what I'm like not sure on. Right, Yeoman's going to ult. Oh, he actually just gets the fight on 0. Alright, he's eventually pinged. You've still got 2 players over here. Good recon. Just good control from Roatum. Stun's in a good position to punish Viva, but is it going to get properly cleared? They were going to, but they just didn't. So Viva just transfers onto all 3 of them nicely. I just think against with so many teams running like Cypher and Viper, like KR Knives could be so impactful. Viva's had a good day today. It was very good on the Jet on split and has been about 10-2 farm on the Silver. Alright, I've moved the Cypher back over towards B. They just hoping for a fast execute. Yeah, I tried to shock that, but it's in a different spot. You got the one way over there too, which is a real pain in the ass to deal with. Yeah, I think what Navi were running with the Chamber triple initiator. No, it was double initiator Viper Omen, I think. He's satcheling out with the op. I mean, Stu is just full of it. The time is getting a little bit more awkward now. Especially with Showstopper used. Oh, nice shots. Honestly, I felt a little bit sloppy from Rare Atom. Yeah, that could have been a little bit tidier, I think. Yeah, it was a good paranoia actually. Would have been from 0. I think he did, yeah. Also, you're playing in positions that are gonna get shock darted. Well, Stu definitely got blinded, but he still kept going. Everybody else stopped. Right, your man's one ways are way too good. Hey, Lion. Man, nice shot. It's your man gets taken out with the operator. Oh mate, I'm so confused with the operator shots. Alright, live 1 versus 2. He's picked up a rifle now. And both players are flanking behind him. Alright, they eventually deal with him. Oh lord, that was a chaotic one though. It's going good, Lion. Hope you're doing well. Mostly. Hopefully it gets better. Right, Rare Atom still have to Cypher over towards B. Recon actually, I think, does connect onto a few of them. I didn't hear a ping noise though, but I mean it should have done, unless it was a bad lineup. He's still trying to get more. He did a good amount of damage, but it's up against an eco, so you have kind of given him a gun here. Or you've at least made it really awkward for Rare Atom to like try and compete against this a bit more. Like, Zero's got the gun upgrade. But still like a 4 versus 3. And they're all backed into that corner. Now, obviously, Rare Atom don't know that yet. But they've got good control, like the camera, the trips, all that. Being an adult is not easy, pretty much. Especially at the moment. Alright. It seems more of the same of what we've been seeing, really. Rare Atom just dominating. I don't know. It must be frustrating if you're Monk to be watching... Like, you are subbed out in stage 2. Your team does alright. You come in on stage 3. Your team does well. And then they sub in the other person and they're not doing well. They're actually going to use both their timeouts in the first half, too. Really out of touch with the VAL Esports scene? I mean, at the moment, there's not too much to catch up on. Like, this is just who's going to make the China League next year. It's just a tournament where whoever wins gets a far. Hey, Boo. Merry Xmas. Yeah, it's very off season. I mean, for the main like tier 1 scene, like this is the last main tournament, and then it starts up again like early February. So it's annoying that this tournament's like at this time. Like there was literally there were officials happening on Christmas Day. I missed the championship and stuff. I mean, it's not been a crazy year. Like if you missed this year, it's fine. It's like the first year of partnerships and like the franchise, so like this year should be more worthwhile watching, I think. I mean, there's been a lot of teething issues. Yeah, closer competition, just teams better set up. I think EMEA especially was just a mess of like teams that were together before that made like a couple of changes or upgrades, or teams that were like individually put together from like old VCL rosters. Or this year sort of feels like a proper clean slate for the teams that can make that happen, or just upgrading their firepower. There's EME and then there's Fnatic, yeah. How's Fnatic doing? They won 2 international events this year, and then they came 4th at Champs. So, shame it didn't work out for the main event for them. But they still had like a good year of winning 2 big events. Yeah, I mean, BBL's just taking the piss, I think. I think Gentlemates 2 is like, I would have liked to have seen them play more in like the off season. It's not that I'm not excited about them because I think they're bad. It's just I want to see them. How's casting and stuff been to you, Ryan? I haven't had much work this year, but hopefully it'll get better next year from like various directions. Yeah, loud Wakanda their kryptonite. Thanks, Lion. Means a lot. I mean, at this point, I think attacking Solid just trying to send it because they got breach ult this last round. All right, they find the opening. He needs to pick up the spike still. He's scratching his nose too. I wonder why he's looking at the ground, but I think he was just wanted to really get comfortable. Oh, he can't push that way either because of the trip. Oh, he's 1 HP. Almost got the kill on Yeoman. Like, got really unlucky that the wall that he was trying to shoot through wasn't wall bangable. Oh yeah, there's you don't need to like apologize really for it. Like, people come and go and then come back again. Like, it's part of the, especially part of the way that streaming works. Like, if people are regulars that just one day like disappear. Martin got 2 while full blind, yeah. I can never help it with games like this. When it's like super one-sided, I just switch off. Like, it's hard for me to like really pay attention. I think that's kind of like natural. At least it turns into a talking stream, sure. Have you been catching up all with looter shooter stuff? Not really. There's not really been anything that's come out that I've been super keen on playing. Like, Destiny seems to be in the worst place it's been. Everything that Rare Atom is doing is just working, and not, yeah, it's a little bit of unluckiness, but I also think it's just the wind is out of Attacking Soul's sails here at this point. They have 2 trips as well. I mean, it's interesting that you have the Cypher trip and the camera over on B, but the Cypher themselves is playing on A. If there's like another like looter shooter game that comes out that I'd be interested in playing, didn't quite work out. I think the stun just missed. But I think most of that was just Rare Atom, like they positioned themselves really nicely to just not get hit by it. Felt like they either anti-stratted that or just knew enough that breaches would stun across that line. Oh, and HFMI just get stinked through the wall. Nothing is nothing works. Zero can't even get one. Yeah, 12-1. You're on a lower buy now as well because you lost a round. I was hoping it would get better after the first game. I think the like Rare Atom's map pool in a best of 5 though is pretty strong, especially if their main ban is Breeze. Like, they can play everything else. Especially because this was Attacking Soul's pick. For playoffs, of course, not groups. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of the results have been too surprising, really. I think maybe 4AM beating 17 might have been, but from what I was told, with how good 4AM have been in scrims, not that surprising, I don't think. Should probably charge my phone actually. Because I forgot my charger at Beth's, I think. Yeah, for VLR, I typically don't do pick'ems. I can't really describe why. I think it's just... I guess, especially with a lot of these games, I'm just very, open-minded. I think if I did do pick'ems, I'd have to, actually, just do the fantasy football stats grinding, you know? Viva 1v1. He's 5 bullets, 5 bullets, 5 bullets. Kind of a wank position for Zero to be in, but it's whatever. Sheriff's just game and going crazy. Yeah, I mean, flashy moments, but no, not a great series. From a neutral position, it was fairly bog standard. But it does mean that tomorrow we have a best of 5 with DRG versus Attacking Soul, which I don't really think we're going to get too much of a surprise here. Attacking Soul should win it, but it being best of 5 might give DRG a map or two. And then Rare Atom are in the grand final, which is kind of what we expected to see from them. What groups was I right? Yeah, 4AM beating 17 might have surprised a few people, and maybe 4AM being kind of close behind DRG, but I don't think any of this is too surprising, really. Maybe Nip getting the reverse on Nightwings. Something after game 1 fully missed a second? Not really. You want to watch good stuff from Rare Atom, but I think a lot of the maps and a lot of the stuff that we saw we're going to be seeing Saturday at the very least, grand finals. No, there was no new comps or any changes like that. It was just what Rare Atom were doing in stage 3 of Evolution, but a little better. A couple of other lineups and Sova recons and all that jazz. But I wouldn't say it's worth rewatching personally. Especially because it's more likely that we'll see these guys play again in the grand final. I'm more than happy for the finals to be a snooze fest. You know, I expect if it's Rare Atom that's going to win, I don't care if it's a close series or they just absolutely trounce the opponent. I want Rare Atom in the partner league next year. And yeah, Stu just doing as they usually do. Yeah, HFMI is not going to be in the best of ways for that one. But I don't really think there's much else to go over, really. I'm trying to think. What do you think is best to keep? I mean, I think it's easy. I think you keep Stu. I think Yeoman's a good IGL, but there's so many IGL. You could literally take Monk from Attacking Soul and put him in Rare Atom, and I think it'd work. If you really wanted... I mean, Yeoman would probably prefer to play, but you could also have him in there as an assistant coach, you know? I wonder if you can have him as a 6th. Like, finding a talent like Stu is harder. Yeah, Viva could, but I don't think Yeoman's as good of an IGL to warrant keeping him. It's kind of like saying, like, who would you keep out of Boaster and Durka? Like, they're both, like, the best at their roles. Or, like, Demon 1 and Boostio. Who do you pick? Who do you drop? Like, it's, I think, a lot easier to put another IGL in that slot than to find another duelist to have that kind of impact. Like, I don't think it's really... Yeah, I don't think it's really a contest. Sorry, Yeoman, but I don't. And I know that people typically underrate the impact of IGLs, but I don't think that any IGL can compare to the kind of performances that Stu has and how much of a household name he could become for this team, both in China and both globally. But also, I just don't think that Yeoman is an amazing IGL anyway. I think that you could probably take an IGL from a lot of teams that didn't make partnership, like Monk, put them in that team and they would be fine. It's just like a bit of an adjustment, I think, for like chemistry and maybe the types of calling. But I think that there are a lot of great IGLs in China. Yeah, Yeoman should find a team. Like, he can... Like, there might be another one in, like, China Ascension. It could be, like, Korea VCLs. It could be Japan as well. Yeah, there's a lot of teams of players that can put him elsewhere, I guess. Your man should be looked after in the rest of Asia. Yeah, I read that. I don't think there's anything else really. I'll end the stream there. Thanks everybody for watching. I did actually want to go through the subs. I closed my dashboard. That's annoying. But yeah, thanks for everybody for coming across. Aid Volley for the Prime sub, Blinded with the 9 months. Mo with the 2 months. Beachy for the raid. Some good love this stream. I had a lot of fun. I mean, the games were great, but hopefully tomorrow and Saturday's a little bit better. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I should be on. Right now, I don't know, just because I'm like, is it? Yeah, I'd say that I'll probably stream tomorrow. I don't have anything else going on. But yeah. GG, see you all then. Have a good one. Bye.